all the internet providers, but the companies that actually manage the physical wiring of the network is called Openreach, and it's a nationalized thing. It used to be part of BT, but they nationalized it about 2 years ago. So that for competition reasons, and because BT were charging higher prices to other ISPs than they were to themselves. So if you pay them to put in a commercial line, you can get gigabit speed, but you basically have to build your own property, put in these ridiculously expensive lines.
Right.
So it's not possible for private use unless you're like a billion.
I should ask Cooperman to install fiber here. I'm staying at this friend's house he's loaded.
Nice.
Okie doke. I believe everybody is here.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so would one of you be willing to give us a brief recap of last session?
Yeah. So last session, we were just planning our ambush, getting ready to get set up for these cultists. So we did get set up, all like hidden inside the building, and Kian was outside as an owl, and we had an elaborate system of hoots to tell us who and what was coming. And over sort of as the early evening, sort of going into the night, and it got dark, they did start to show up, and we were able to quickly grab 3 of them. Unfortunately, as more people arrived, we ran off to keep grabbing them, and we got them all without too much trouble. However, one of them had snuck round the back, broken in through a window, had somehow knocked out Oof, who was guarding the ones that we'd already captured, and had made off with 2 of the 2 that we'd already got. I think it was 2, or maybe no, yeah, it was 2, and the body of the one that we killed. And they went down into the basement and through that sort of sewer access grating, which turned out to be a tunnel. So Alice and Kian and Dalen all went after them. Kian went one direction, Alice went the other, and then Dalen went after Kian, but because there was an arrow in the ground pointing that way, then turned around and Alice caused a magical explosion. So we found, Alice and Dalen found this like underground stream, and there was another altar down there with similar but not quite identical markings. And Alice put down for a bit before turning around, and the 2 of them sort of ran back the other way. In the meantime, Kian sort of found a metal door, caused a couple of cave-ins, and managed to dig his way through to like what seems like sort of the main. We are hypothesizing is the main sort of like secret underground base of these guys, because there's a lot more of those rogues and stuff, and there's a whole bunch more of magical grenades. Eventually, Kian got stuck in front of a magical door, and whilst he was burrowing through, Alice and Dalen caught up with him, and they squeezed through once Kian had busted through, and are currently running down this quite nice corridor. In the meantime, Devona, Oof, and August were guarding the 3 that we still had captured. They went through their stuff. August found a really interesting book that was written half in that language we don't understand and half in Draconic, which he speaks, and has figured out basically from flipping through that this is basically like a doomsday cult that is saying stuff about like they have to take down the eagle or something, and just as the session was ending, 5 much more heavily armed and prepared cultists have turned up, and Devona and August threw the body out to try and intimidate them, and are getting ready to fight them, and that's where we ended this.
Mm-hmm. Does that sound about right to everybody?
Yep.
It's exactly as I remember.
We split the party.
Always the best choice.
Yes. That never goes wrong.
Okay. So yeah, so we will begin then, with, I guess, Oof and Devona. As was just said, basically you heard footsteps coming down the street. I believe Devona had looked outside, spotted 5 of these members approaching, much more armored and armed than the previous ones you fought. And I believe you were preparing for combat, but they are still a good ways down the street. They're a little farther than on the map makes it up here. What would you like to do?
I guess Devona will tell Oof and August. There's 5 of them that seem to be coming here, armed and armored as well.
Armed in what as well?
In armor.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, how far away are they?
I'm currently probably about 100 yards out or so.
Okay.
Maybe we should leave out the back with our 3 bodies.
I could go try talking to them. Just like seeing what they want.
I mean, they're probably here to stop this, like, you know, stop us from doing what we're doing.
Well,
How far can you shoot with that thing of yours?
me?
Yes.
That's a good question. I think it's 100.
500 feet.
Yeah, 500? Yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you... How about I go distract them for a minute and you do something with these guys in hearing?
How do you intend to distract them? There's 5 of them.
I might, maybe I'll use disguise stuff. I'm not sure, but I think, is that these guys over here that we're looking at?
Yes.
All right.
Like I said, they're a little farther out than the map currently. I just wanted them to be on the map.
All right. Are you able to show the area between here and there?
The doorway's right here.
Can't move.
Where Devona is standing is the doorway out into the street.
I'm having difficulties. There we go. All right. All right, here. So if I go out the door, I will come out where? Where Devona is?
Where Devona is.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where the door is. She's covering it, but yeah. So what's the plan then?
All right. I'm outside looking at them.
Right, at this point, they're a little bit farther off in the map. The tiles here are doubled, by the way, just as a point. So each tile is about 10 feet instead of 5. Just so it can be on the same map. But they're about double out where they are currently. So more like 40, 50 feet out from where you are currently.
Okay.
At this point, they do seem to kind of slow down a little bit when they initially when they saw Devona, and now seeing you come outside as well. They have slowed their approach fairly significantly.
Okay. Oof is going to slowly approach them.
Okay. and Devona and August.
Yeah, August doesn't like this place. I think if it's a bit too dangerous. Yeah, cultist. Just gonna follow behind him to the side a bit, like right about like here. He doesn't like the idea at all.
Fair enough.
Devona will stay and try to block the door, the entrance, and keep an eye out on our unconscious guys to make sure that nothing happens like last time.
All right. So you're just kind of staying in the doorway, watching, making sure that no one can get through it, and watching these three unconscious people in the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Oof
And August, you're following along with Oof.
Yeah, a bit behind though, just to. Actually, no, probably like just right behind him, pretty much.
Okay.
Oof is
How
trying to
close
get up.
are you getting?
Oof is trying to get, close enough to have a conversation without yelling. So, 5 or 10 feet.
Okay. They do all have their weapons drawn, several crossbows, rapiers, and the like, but they do seem to be allowing you to approach, although 3 of them have crossbows trained on you. The 3 in the back.
I will say, come in peace. What can we do for you?
There's no immediate response.
And I will try to walk even closer to them to see what happens.
Nothing appears to be happening. It does seem that one of them seems quite perturbed. Seems to be actively having a conversation, but isn't saying anything.
I will look back at August with my eyebrows raised in question.
I mean, this was your idea. It didn't seem like a good one. I mean, we've been like knocking them out for the most part.
Oof shrugs his shoulders and looks back at the 5 guys. Wonders where his hamburger is. Is there anything I can do for you guys?
The one that seems to be the leader of this group, the one that seemed quite perturbed and seemed to be having a conversation with himself, kind of looks back over to the other members and then back at you two. How many of do you have?
How many of what?
Are people?
I'll look back at August. See if he wants to answer this question.
Why does it matter how many people we have?
Well, we've come to retrieve them, as you probably could have guessed.
Well, we've also come to retrieve them, so kind of a bit of an impasse here.
Indeed. But given the circumstances, maybe some kind of compromise would work.
Like?
Well, according to some of the sources we have, some of your party might be currently heading to their deaths, and we could guarantee the safety of 2 of them in exchange for 2 of ours.
What do you mean heading to their deaths?
Well, from our sources, we believe your friends are currently headed into one of our strongholds, and their life expectancy will not be high if they are continuing along that path. And I'm proposing a 1-for-1 trade.
How far away is Devona at this point? I think Devona needs to be in on this conversation because
At this point, Bona would be about 30, 40 feet away, so she's probably not hearing it because this is at like this, normal voice level, a little bit lower probably, but yeah. You could call her over though.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna shout, just like, "Hey, they say that the rest of our group is headed into a death trap, and they want to do a 1-for-1 trade. Thoughts?"
I don't believe that.
Just out of curiosity, in what condition would you like the people in?
Alive and well. We see you've already at least killed one, and they kind of motion down the street to the dead body.
Sorry, I'm a little far away. I can't hear that, right?
No, you probably could not unless you want to join the conversation.
No, I'm staying where I am. Though I think that's the one that killed himself.
It is. They don't know that necessarily, but it is.
Well, I gave that one a hug, and he just couldn't take it. He slit his throat. It was very odd.
I mean, death is better than torture.
Fair enough.
But whether or not your party would like to believe it, your friends are headed into a stronghold. While they may survive, it is highly unlikely. Especially if they're running in head first. He's well armed and trapped. They may already be dead, but if they are not, we could guarantee their safety at the very least, in exchange for the safety of our members. That is the proposition we're proposing. We could give you time to discuss it with the more hesitant member of your party if you'd like, but be aware, we'd give you about a couple minutes before taking them by force, if need be.
Yeah, I'd say give us a few while we talk it over. And you can just wait right here.
The leader kind of nods his head and seems to let you head back if you would like.
Going back in the building to talk it over. Because this is not going to end well.
So we've got 3 dead ones in here.
They're alive.
Unconscious.
These 3 are alive.
Well, not well, but unconscious.
What was it that the Supreme Commander, what is our guy's name? Hammett.
His high horse.
What did he get? Hammett and his high horse. What did he want exactly?
He wanted 3 of them
Dead or alive?
alive.
Or alive to interrogate.
And
A minimum of 2 was.
Well, what if we gave them 2 of these guys and took 1 alive and 1 dead body with us and tell them that's all we can manage?
Or why don't you just take care of the 5 over there and go back with 8 of them?
I'm not sure we can take on 5 of them.
On top of that, I mean, didn't the rest of them actually go down into the basement? We never really checked where they went, so they could be telling the truth for all we know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you said the deal was for 2 of them. So one of ours would still, well, his life would still be in danger.
Well, we don't know that they wouldn't still be in danger, but it's worth a try. And I think they can fend for themselves fairly well. I mean, they've got Dale with them, and he's quite the brute.
Yeah.
Well, and they did ask for 2, right? Was that what I heard?
I think that's what I heard, yeah.
Well, I
You
guess.
guys really want to just give them up without a fight?
I mean, I'd rather just get away with my life, really.
Same.
Hammett's upset. Well, that's Hammett's deal. We'll still have brought 1.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. Well, shall we go back and tell them?
Yep.
So what are you doing then?
I guess August is going to pick up 2 bodies and start heading out, yeah.
And I'm gonna head back out and we'll go over to them and tell them that 2 of them are headed their way for an exchange.
Devona's really pissed off. But she lets it happen since it's 2 against, well, the votes are clearly 2 against 1, so.
Okay.
But she's visibly super pissed.
As you do return the 2 bodies, August again nod both at you and you. Well, we're glad you could listen to reason. It is a rare commodity in this city.
So I've noticed.
Well, we thank you for being reasonable, and we will, as quickly as possible, send a dispatcher to try to ensure your friend's safe return. We are men of our word, if nothing else.
It's much appreciated.
Listen, if 2 of them don't come back alive, well, you can imagine what happens next, right?
We have our ideas, yes.
Good.
Which one of us don't you care about?
It was a 1-for-1 trade, so.
I thought you had a 3rd guy.
We do. And yes,
I'm just surprised you haven't explicitly already sold me down the river.
I mean, he hasn't said it explicitly, but yeah.
You're just leaving it to a roll of the dice, huh?
They might indeed. What is your passive perception, August?
14.
Okay. And Devon, are you still by the door, or are you over with them?
No, I'm still by the door looking at our last guy.
Okay. August, you notice the head member before heading back off down the street slips Oof a piece of paper.
Oh.
Obviously, Oof, you noticed that.
Oof is nonetheless the wiser.
But they take the two bodies, they're unconscious, and head off the way they came.
Well, that seemed to work. Hopefully our guys will come back. Hopefully all three of them.
Oof, you mind taking out that piece of paper that guy handed you?
Oh, you saw that, did you?
Yeah.
Alright, I will pull it out and open it up so we can read it.
Okay. All it is a location and a time. Specifically, it says the Orthan N.
This says what?
1. The Orthan N. 1 a.m.
Can you put on the screen the first part?
Yeah, I'll put it on real funny.
Oh, I thought you were saying something like the teeth are in.
Not quite.
Can I see them reading the piece of paper?
You can see them off ways down the street, and they seem to be they seem to have talked for a minute, and then Oof pulled out a piece of paper, and they looked at it for a second.
August.
Unless their reading skills are very slow, so it doesn't take them very long.
Yeah, it's like that's a very short bit of writing.
Maybe that's where we're all gonna find our guys.
Probably.
And what time is it now?
It's night. It's probably at this point maybe around 10:30.
And do we know where the Orthan is? That's hard to say.
I suppose so. But off the top of your head, you probably do not recognize it. You've not been in Orthan very long.
Okay. Have the 5
but you
guys
would guess that it's probably something you could find pretty easily. But considering this is a place you're supposed to be, supposedly.
I guess I don't suppose you have a map of Orthan, do you?
There's a general store down the way.
Think they're open this time of night? Think they're open this time of night?
Probably not.
Hmm.
Can always just go check real quick.
Yeah, we could. We probably should.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and just go check real quick if it's open.
Okay. It's pretty obviously closed.
Yeah, I figure.
You can see a light on upstairs. The owner probably lives in the same building, but the store itself is closed.
Yeah. Okay, August is just gonna knock really loud.
There's no response.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah. Is the door unlocked? I imagine it's locked.
It is
but-
not unlocked.
Yeah.
Can Oof see August at this point?
I mean, unless you've gone back inside with Dorona, you'd be out in the street. You could see him down the street. The shop that he's checking right now is here.
All right, I will mime picking up a stone and throwing it out the window.
Okay. At which point, the windows do open, and the older gentleman that had been running the shop before kind of peeks his head out. What do your hooligans want?
You don't know where the Tathan is. Just shouting that.
Oh, you have silicon. It's down a couple blocks, and he points off to the north. Then you want to take a right, and it should be on the main street.
Alright, thanks. Sorry for the midnight wake up.
Well, if it's for Orthan, I suppose, but try to do it in business hours in the future.
Yeah.
Then he closes his window.
Well, that's that then. Like, how far would that be of a walk? Like,
Probably around 10, 15 minutes.
okay. So yeah, we could probably get there within a reasonable amount of time.
You would guess so, yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess we're just gonna take the body and, yeah, hang out at this inn. Does that seems like a good idea.
So you're heading back inside then?
Yeah.
Not gonna wait for us to come back.
I mean, he's assuming that you guys aren't gonna come back is the thing. He's willing to take the guess that, you know, if 5 armed, like, cultists are just gonna run up and just be like, hey, give us the bodies, that, yeah, you guys are probably just gonna, you guys might end up, like, really worse for wear.
Okay. They do come back in at this point then, Dorona, as well. Is your plan then to just take the body now or wait?
Probably wait before, like, we're gonna be there for, like, at least until, like, an hour before the meetup, pretty much.
Yeah, Devon was like, so what's the plan now?
We wait here until 12:30-ish, and then we head over to the Tathan Inn.
The what now?
The inn, yeah.
Why are we going to an inn?
That's where the meetup said,
A
where they
meetup?
drop them off.
Oh, they give you a place for us to go and pick our people up?
Place and the time.
I don't think going with one of their own is the right idea, though.
Fair enough.
When they
Then,
try to take him away?
then one of us can stay behind and wait with the body then.
Further splitting the party.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is getting worse and worse.
So I'm pretty sure we don't have I'm pretty sure like getting this body back to the cathedral, like that'd take like 2 or 3 hours, right?
You're about an hour's walk away from the cathedral right now.
Oh,
Be a
so
little bit slower because you'd be carrying a body, but not significantly.
all right then. Yeah, if we wanted to, we could actually probably just take this guy, turn him into the Grand Cathedral, and then head back. But
Do
And
we?
we'd have to deal with Hammett being upset.
I think we should do that. At least we would guarantee having one guy.
Sure.
Oof is gonna
And we
go.
could, once we're all together again, we could try and take out more of them at that point.
True.
Oof goes out into the street and looks for a pushcart. Does Oof perceive any pushcarts?
You can make a perception check if you'd like. Okay. You do not see any pushcarts in the street, but you do hear the sounds of light foot traffic as well as some carts on the main road off to the east. You would maybe be able to find someone there that could transport it.
How much foot traffic is there? Is it light foot traffic or heavy?
Yeah, it's pretty light.
Alright. I'm going to go back inside and tell August that we might be able to find some help out on the main road, or at least get a cart from someone. Traffic seems fairly light, so this might be a good time to take the body without arousing too much suspicion from anyone.
Yeah, I mean, they could probably just pick up and carry the body there, but
We could bundle him up in some of the bed sheets, right?
Oh, we could roll him up in a rug.
I feel like they would probably suffocate them if you're not careful.
I think the bed sheet would be fine, though.
I mean, there are several bed sheets that you could use if you'd like.
So I guess we're doing that and then just carrying him to the place, or possibly finding a cart and then having. Yeah.
Fair enough. So you could wrap him up. It will still probably look like a human-shaped piece of cargo wrapped up in a bed sheet, but I mean, it'll serve.
It's in the name of Orthan. I'm sure everyone will understand.
Fair enough. Okay, doke. We will cut to the other half of the party then. So last, you had all gone around the magic door with the help of some badgers and come out into a hallway with a rug. It seems to quickly, after you get through that room and into the next, there's a much longer hallway that goes off to the north and another door to the east that kind of branches off from this hallway.
So the hallway goes off to the north, but the door going
To your right, yeah, to the east.
So it seems like going north is the more important location.
Perhaps. I mean, we don't know. I don't know anything about the layout of the structure.
Very well. Then I recommend we proceed to the north and see if we can find a cultist who beats into telling us the layout.
Well, wouldn't it be better for us to, identify threats as we go along, so that we don't get flanked?
I think that's a smart idea.
A door is not a threat.
No, but what if behind the door might be a threat?
There could be cultists right behind these doors.
Very well. I shall open the door.
Wait.
I've already got it.
Every single door that we have opened has been trapped.
You open the door, and it does open into a smaller hallway. A couple torches lighting it, with 3 doorways on one side of it. Actually, we can move over now to this, and I can start revealing it as you go along. Let me see if I can do that. Okay, so this little area here was that room that you had just opened. The magic room with the wardrobes and the altar in it. And then you'd come out to this hallway. And then it does, like I said, seem to go a ways to the north. And you've opened the door to the east into a small hallway with, like I said, 3 doorways to the southern side.
Very well. So close the door again. Seems like the north is the safer route.
I think
By the way,
that
doors are not bad.
no, I think turning around is the safer route.
Nonsense. Turning around is the cowardly route, and I'm sure nobody who would ever travel with me would take a cowardly option.
I think we're biting off a little bit more than we can chew right now.
There is no such thing. And I will
Cowardly
begin to
and
try
safe
to
are not at all separate.
Well, what's the plan then?
I'm going north. I'm going north.
Uh,
You may have courage and follow me, or you may go back to Hammett and report yourself for cowardice.
Let's turn to Keaton and Alvin as if he's going to get us killed.
yeah. The more he talks and acts, the more I think that is true.
If it does come down to a situation where things get bad, just stay close.
Oh man. Oh, we should have like a code word, like a word that we can say that's like, okay, we're running. Now it's time. Just let's leave. It's last ditch effort.
Say run in Elven. Well, no, or just say run in common. If we're running, it doesn't matter.
Fair enough. If you are heading off north, there is a doorway off to the east as you're approaching, and the hallway does seem to go on a little farther to the north as well. Just to deal with that, and then in another door, as well as this door off to the east.
Oh, so we should stand about like 30 feet away from him at all times because he doesn't seem to care about traps. So
I would be more than willing to help investigate these doors for him if he would just slow down.
I will continue on to the northern door.
Right. If you do go that far up north, the hallway again does branch off a little bit and does seem to head off to the east again.
Oh, I'm gonna tell a badger to go just like act as a sentry right here. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, just stay there, and if anyone approaches that's not me or these people, just start screaming.
Are we gonna leave badgers like breadcrumbs?
Yep, that's what we're doing.
Right, so sorry, where were you leaving the badger?
Like right around here.
Okay, all right, sorry. Go ahead, Colin.
Of the 3 doors, do any of them appear more important or impressive?
The largest of those 3 doors in the north is the northern one, probably. It does seem like it's a double door, where the other two are
Oh,
singles.
perfect. That's what I was looking for. I shall go through that door.
Okay. It does open into another long hallway with another door on the end of it. Along the hallway, there is another kind of rug straight down the middle. And there seems to be several painting hanging along the wall as well as torches lighting it. But little else, at least.
What do the paintings depict?
There's a couple different images of. In total, there is 5 paintings, 2 on one wall, 3 on the other. The largest of the 5 is at the very center of the hallway, and the other 4 are kind of opposite and to the sides of it. The largest painting depicts this large dragon figure. Some of the side paintings depict a similar figure in different scenes, and there's recurring imagery of eyes. 2 of the paintings on the opposite wall from the largest painting of the dragon figure are just basically a series of eyes, more or less.
More illegal blast. If I take the reverse side of the head of my maul, the sort of slightly like pointier side, can I just scratch along each of the paintings, just destroying it as I walk past?
You can try. Most of them do it, but the 2 on the opposite side of the wall, when you did put your maul up to it, it seemed to just go through.
Oh.
The 2 paintings that just depicted the eyes. I
shall attempt to move, like press myself against it and see if I can move through it completely.
Yourself is probably a little too large, but I mean, if you're moving like a part of your body where the painting is, it moves through as if it's empty, like just air.
Stick my head through. See, is it like a just secret hole, or is it like a crawl space?
It is pitch black. Do you have dark vision?
I do not.
It is pitch black.
Torch, so I shall. Actually, there are torches on the walls. That's it. So I'll grab one of the torches on the wall, and if there's room to put it in ahead of me, without obviously burning my face off.
Yeah, you could stick your arm in first, and it's clearly not bumping into anything. But when you do put your head through, the torch was extinguished as it moved through, so it is still pitch black.
Elven friend, I would recommend one of you put your head through this. I assume it is an illusion. It is pitch black on the other side, and my torch was extinguished when I put it through. Please, could you tell me what is on the other side?
Sure. I will do this. And I stand up, and I just the face. Like, I'm not trying to stick my whole head in this murder hole.
Okay. So you're just looking through it then?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. As you are looking through it, it seems to be an almost entirely empty space.
It's not a...
Within, like, the 60 feet of dark vision that you would have, since there's complete darkness, you pretty much see nothing. Like, it's a dim darkness.
It's dark in here. I think... I can't see anything.
Very well. And I shall continue on to the next door and go through.
Okay. Oops. Damn, so
secrets!
Yeah, there are. It's not really secrets as much as just other things. Okay. That apparently I had the wrong tool on. That's all good though. Cool. All right. So yeah. So you open up the next hallway. It does enter into, well, quite a long hallway again.
With these hallways.
There is another door off to the east of this one, and it does seem to branch off on the east and west here, and there's another door here to the north.
Very well. Perhaps we shall see what luck east brings us. And I'll take the eastern door, first one.
Are you choosing these paths at random?
I would rather not say.
Because this doesn't seem like a very efficient search pattern.
I'm gonna start putting badgers like here and here. Just at basically any door that we go through until I run out of badgers.
Have you ever done this before, Dalen?
On shit, yes.
That does not sound like remotely the same thing. I don't know how that could be similar.
They can be somewhat labyrinthine, although potentially on a smaller scale. You never know what might jump out at you in the bowels of some smuggler's ship, you know.
Well, you do, okay, so you do open the eastern door. It is also unlocked. It enters, you enter into a fairly small room. It seems to kind of have several bookshelves in it. It's not quite a library necessarily. It's a little small for that. There's another door off to the north as well. But it just seems to mostly have it has like one desk in the center of the room with some papers on it, and there are several bookshelves around the room, seemingly filled with
Some kind.
If you will give me a minute, and I would like to peruse the shelves, please.
I shall give you a minute.
Okay. Anything in particular you're looking at, or for, or just kind of looking over the books?
I mean, if there's a magic spell book, that'd be nice, but yeah, I'm just looking through the books, seeing if I can recognize anything.
What languages do you speak?
Common, Elven, and Sylvan.
Okay. The majority of the books are in languages you do not understand.
Okay. So none I do understand?
There's a few in common. None, so the ones you would recognize, there's a handful in common. They all seem to be pretty mundane books. History of Orthan, city planning, that kind of thing. There is a couple, about 6 or 7 books that are in Elven.
Oh, what are those about?
They mostly seem to be alchemy books. They mostly are in the realm. One is about gathering herbs and other kinds of supplies. One is potion making. There's one about poisons, but they all do seem to be in the realm of alchemy or, apothecary kind of stuff.
I will now go through the door.
Would you be interested in any of these?
Yeah, I like apothecary stuff. Herbs and those kinds of that knowledge is very useful.
I'm going to keep the history books. Here, have these alchemy books.
All right, thank you. I'm just going to go around and tug on as many books as I can, just like pulling on each one.
Looking for a sacred passageway.
Maybe.
There does not seem to be any effect. I don't know how long you want to spend doing that, but...
Before Alice started talking to Keenan, I was already dead. I was more than generous. I gave you 90 seconds.
Okay, it does open into a slightly larger room. This seems... There's a door off to the north as well. This does seem to, from what you can tell, be some kind of workspace. There are several benches, several active kind of potions, it seems, in the room. This does seem to be some kind of workspace that's probably alchemic in nature, you would guess. It seems that way, at least.
Okay. No people yet, though?
There's been no one yet.
Very well. As I move across to the other side of the room, I would just like to take my maul, stick it on the end of the tables, and just slowly destroy everything by knocking it onto the floor as I cross the room. Just making a complete fucking mess.
Fair enough. Are you following Dalen? Are you two still back in book shelf?
When I see who's left, I just like to grab a couple random of the books that I couldn't read and just put them in my bag.
Okay.
And then I'll follow him.
And then same with you, Kian?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. About when you get to the center of the room, 2 stone slabs come down on either side of the room, and you hear a slight hissing noise.
Now, how far away are we from him at this point?
I want to keep about 30 feet back.
He's probably about in the center of the room at this point. It is, and you guys had probably just about entered the space, and the door is pretty much. It's not really even the door. It's like there's clearly some kind of mechanism where some kind of stone slab slammed down from a hole in the doorway on the top, and he enclosed the space.
Okay.
So where the doors are blocked off by this.
Well, I've been in this situation before.
Very well.
This is why I want to take things slow.
I was taking things slow. Now, stand back, please, and I shall back up about 20 feet, whip out a magic grenade, and huff it at the stone slab on the other side.
Roll a 1d4 for me. You have 4 of them, correct?
Yes.
Roll a 1d4 for me.
Oh no.
I'm a simple man. I do things in simple fashion. 4.
Okay. Yeah, from there. Okay. You hear a tremendous explosion. Not in the room, though. It sounds like it came somewhere behind you. And you can hear, like, the entire room shakes. And pieces of the ceiling start to crumble.
Excellent. I like these.
Wait, hold on. But the thing itself didn't explode?
The thing itself did not explode.
So it's still in the room with us.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's sitting in the room. When you did throw it, if you're rolling over and looking at it, you can kind of see it spun open, and there seems to be some kind of central chamber inside of it. And it seems to, when you're walking over it, it seems to emanate some kind of purplish light, and then it is currently fading.
I'll pick up the empty thing and pocket it and go, I should show this to the boys in the lab.
They're not grenades. They're triggers.
And the ceiling is still
Potato,
crumbling.
potato, I really don't understand the difference. I don't know what a grenade is anyway. That was the word for it.
Sorry, they're not explosives. They're triggers. They're useless to us. We don't know what they're tied to.
Well,
Blow them all! No, wait, that would be
none
response.
Taking the fact that the explosion came from behind us, and none of the things.
Do you have a plan? I'm very vulnerable to poison, as I've learned.
I would
Also,
say
as a note,
should-
pieces of the ceiling are actively falling right now.
Oh,
Maybe not a good time to be having a conversation.
I'm going to take my maul and I'm going to start hammering on the slab of the northern floor. Try and bust through it.
Okay.
Unless one of you people has magic open.
My Discord keeps being weird.
It's all good.
I don't have magic that's going to break open that door now.
Okay, then I will just see if I can just shatter the stone slab.
All right. You are able to make dents out of it, but you think it will take you about a minute probably of just wailing at it to make any kind of hole large enough to move through.
It is satisfactory, and I should spend the next minute unless somebody comes up with a better idea.
How long can I hold my breath? Is there gas leaking in here, right?
You have not seen it. You heard hissing though.
It's one
Okay, so it's either gas or snakes.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm good for 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm holding my breath.
Yeah, I'm holding my breath.
Okay. Kian, make a dex save.
What did I do?
That's
It's all
was
right.
me.
It's snakes. No. Make a dex save. Okay. A piece of the ceiling does fall, collapsing pretty much right where you were standing. You do see it in time and dodge out of the way.
so. Is it just like? Is it a cave in, or is there something above that? Like, is there a hole that we can climb through now?
It looks like it's cave-in.
Okay, great. Excellent.
It is not a quick cave-in. But it is clearly like falling apart right
now. Okay.
All right. I will say make 2 dex saves.
No.
Or one if you fail the first time. While a piece of the ceiling does fall, you do dodge out of the way, but as a second piece falls down, it does slam into you.
God damn.
The way you said that. So...
And you take 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
I continue to be not okay.
Courage, friend, we'll be fine.
Not if rocks crush us, you asshole.
Oh my god, we're gonna die here.
Obviously, rocks will not crush us.
Alright. And
The
then.
poison gas will kill us first.
I see no point.
At this point, there is a pretty, it does seem to be a pretty solid layer of a greenish gas filling the room. You do see it.
That one, right there.
I'm too busy to turn around to look. I'm just pounding on this.
You have almost broken through. One deck save for each of you.
Do I have advantage for this? With whatever it's called, barbarian thing that gives you advantage, danger sense?
That's for visible, right?
Yeah, advantage saving throws against effects you can see, such as traps and spells.
Yeah, you do see. I mean, you don't necessarily, but you obviously know it's caving it at this point. You would have practice. All right, Kian, you're the only one that fails. So again, pieces of the ceiling collapsing all around you. Dalen and Alistair are able to dodge out of the way, but Kian, you do take 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ouch, okay.
But at this point, Dalen, you have made a hole large enough to get out of the room.
Okay, so I'll move through and get out of the way quickly so that the others can come
I
through.
feel the need to ask, do you need any sort of concentration for Badger friends?
It just did.
You did do that.
Okay.
And succeeded, so his Badger friends was to the left. Okay, so you have made it out of the room into another smaller hallway, which I will reveal right now. Leads off to the west and the east.
Is the gas still coming out of that room?
Yes. It does seem like it doesn't seem to have stopped necessarily.
I've been in this exact situation before.
Quickly then, to the east, there is more hallway.
Let's extend our distance from 30 feet to like 50 feet.
Yeah, as far as you can possibly away from
The hallway is about
Batman.
50 feet long, so you can't quite accomplish that here.
What we're going to do is we're going to stand still until we think he's approximately 50 feet away, and then we'll start going.
That's fine, you do that. You stand in the gas-filling hallway whilst I keep pushing on deeper away from
Mm-hmm.
So are you
really
going up to
wish
the east?
I had prepared
Yes, I'm
the
going
ball.
to the eastern door. Just plowing on. I'm determined to find and capture more cultists.
Right. It opens up into a
Or at least recapture the ones that we lost. You owe me 2 cultists, damn it.
okay, so you enter into a larger space. There's a hallway heading off north, a door to the north, a door to the south, as well as a much larger set of double doors made out of stone.
Larger double doors. Excellent.
As
I
well as
shall-
off to the north, there is a similar set of large double
Damn it.
doors with stone. So
Of course there is. Okay. We'll go for the eastern ones. Make a beeline for them, and like, assuming the others are keeping 50 feet behind me,
Mhm.
I will I'm just ignoring them at this point because they seem determined to be timid about this, and push open the large stone doors.
they do not open.
Ooh. Do they appear to be locked, or is it just that they're really heavy?
They don't seem to be locked necessarily. When you pushed against it, it didn't seem like it like moved a little bit and then like stopped, like it was locked or anything. It just did not budge at all.
Well, I shall put my back into it and try and shove it open. Pardon me.
Okay. Athletics or strength check.
Yeah.
Okay. You put in a lot of force. Expect like you think you could open almost any door with that amount of force unless it was heavily locked. It doesn't budge at all.
From about 40 feet away.
Magic.
We've seen doors like that before. Normally takes magic to open them.
Very well. Magic is open, please.
As I have previously stated, we don't have that. Do not have much magic at all.
Very well. I shall move on to the northern doors and see if they are finished.
This is gonna be where I die.
Are we able to go back where we came?
I don't know. That's what terrifies me.
What are you doing then?
Heading for the northern
Okay.
same sort of suggestion.
You can try to push them open. It has a very similar effect.
Oh, good. We can't go any further.
Curses.
Maybe we should just call it quits.
Very well. I shall try the southern door.
Oh,
58, normal size, not stone. We're owed 2 unconscious cultists. We may leave when we have them.
well, I mean, we've already met our quota, so we should be fine.
Yes, but it is unacceptable to allow 2 cultists to escape us after we have captured them. It is our duty to recover them.
If you recall from our sparring earlier today, some of us are much more tough than others. You may be fine, but there is a very good chance that I will die here.
There is enough of me to protect both of you. But I will not permit these people to escape.
You don't even know where they are.
That is
We
irrelevant.
don't even know that they're here. What if this is an entirely separate underground network?
Then we shall discover that in due course. Try and open the southern door.
Okay. The southern one in the room you're in right here?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
You know, if you die, this will be like the shortest lived character yet.
Won't be my shortest lived character ever.
Okay, it does open into a small room. There seems to be a couple tables in here with lanterns on them. It does seem to open into a staircase going downwards here.
Excellent. I love the simultaneous opposite reaction. I shall immediately head for the staircase.
Wait,
I
perhaps
found something
maybe
promising, friends. Let us continue.
should we check for traps? I mean, just based off of previous
Right
experience
now,
in the
I'm
last
checking
2
for
minutes. Don't look like it.
Well, of course, it's the passive action.
It's a passive action. So you're going down the staircase?
Yes.
Okay. It opens up into another kind of slightly larger room. Kind of seems to be some kind of chamber. There are 4 pillars in it at the center with a circle in the middle with an eye set in the middle of that circle. But there seems to be very little else in the room. There's another hallway heading off to the south, further south.
I should like to destroy that eye.
I don't think that is our most pressing concern, and it is probably definitely trapped or just something you shouldn't touch at all.
But my hatred for my enemies is blind and unreasoning.
Oh, I'm leaving.
That-
I'm leaving the room. I go up.
Yeah, I didn't enter the room. It doesn't look 40 feet long. We're not in there. We're outside.
No. Last time I stepped into a circle, that last trap triggered, so I shall edge around the circle and continue down the southern corridor.
I'm not entering that room until I see him leave it without a trap go off.
Okay, he does get across the room without incident, and enters a identical room.
Hmm.
It is exactly identical. 4 pillars, circle in the middle, eye inset, an eye symbol inset in the middle of it, and another staircase at the edge of the room going further downwards.
Excellent. We're making progress.
We are not. We're just getting more lost.
I disagree. And I shall do the same again. I'll go around the circles and also go back there.
Okay. You head into a kind of a small, like, meeting room. Not an actual meeting room, like just a space that's meeting. There's a staircase going upwards here, and another staircase to your right going further down.
Keep going down,
I would like to point out that we are already a significant distance underground.
which is why going down must be better. Coming underground, we found their lair. Going deeper, we must find the center of it.
But if we go up, we may find where they emerge into the city. They may have another hideout that would be great to discover, and it's probably where they would take the other cultists.
That is a fantastic observation, Alice. I shall whip out my book and note Alice to get commendation for excellent reasoning, and then put it away and point out that that is the way we shall leave in that case when we are finished with our business here.
So you are heading further down?
Yes.
All right. You enter into a long, what seems like almost hallway. It is a little bit wider than any of the hallways you've seen previously. And on the opposite end, there is a bit longer staircase going back up.
Interesting.
Mostly in this longer hallway. At the far end and this end, about 10 feet in on each side, there is a large pillar. At the very center of the space, there is again a circle pretty much taking up the entire 10 feet space with an eye inset along it, as well as along the wall, a long horizontal painting that's going across the entire space. It is an actual painting. It's not like a mural or anything, but it does go across the entire wall. And there is not any really singular image as much as some kind of more like symbolism. You see a lot of those symbols that you saw in the altars before, draconic imagery, as well as a lot of eyes. There does seem to be a lot of that.
I shall take off at a run down the hallway and attempt to just leap clean over the circle of the eye. Because there's no way
around it. Okay.
I've got a strength 20, so I should be able to jump 20 feet with a running start.
Yeah, you would be. You'd be able to get across then,
unless something prevents me as I cross.
Unless something prevents you, but nothing does. You do get across. With Alice and Clean on the other side of the room.
So I watch him perform this Olympic feat.
Just casually breaking the long jump world record. Yeah.
Well, we gotta go with him. Okay.
It's probably fine, but better safe than sorry.
Kid, how many badgers are still following us?
Oh, probably none at this point.
Oh, we're out of badgers?
I was trying to leave them at as many doors as I could, so...
Yeah, I was presuming you were leaving them at every major intersection?
Yeah.
And how many badgers did you actually have left?
I had 8. So,
okay, so we have one down here, one up there, one up here, one there, one there, one there. You probably have 2 badgers left, unless you're being very extra and putting badgers everywhere. But
all right, we got 2 badgers. I point to them and I tell them to wave it off.
Okay. Can one of them trek into the circle so that we can find out if anything happens if you do step foot in it? Because I cannot make that jump.
I will tell the badger to head over to the circle.
What is it with you elves and your animal cruelty?
They're fake creatures. It's fine.
I'm giving you little badger counters, by the way. I presume you would have left like one here and then probably somewhere like here or something. 1, 2, 3, 4. Something like that, you think?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So you're having the badgers cross the room?
Just one. One badger, yeah, across the room.
Okay. It does walk across. Nothing seems to happen. Gets to the other side, and there's a badger standing next to you, Dalen.
Very well. Seeing that the badger crossed, I'm just going to start heading upstairs.
Okay, let's follow the badger.
Okay. I'll let Alice take it.
Oh, such a gentleman. Okay.
Of course, yes.
Hey, my badger is the one who went through, so.
I'll say when you get to about the middle of the circle, you do see the eye start to light up in a similar bluish glow.
Jogged the rest of it. Like, I went, ah! And I immediately, like, took a piss.
Alright. When you do, as it does continue to glow until the entire circle is glowing blue.
Is Kean still on the other side of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on the other side of this now very lit up eye.
Alright.
Maybe
Badger
some of the
number
other
2,
badger.
why don't you go on through?
Okay, so you're sending the other badger through?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As it is walking across, you do see the eye actually follow it as it's walking across the circle over it,
Creepy.
but it does make it across.
You don't have a lot of magic left, do you, Alice?
If I had spell slots, I would try and blind the eye, but I have
Okay.
saved up.
Yeah, I'm of pretty much the same opinion right now. I've got such little magic left that shit. Okay, so just followed the badger, didn't do anything to it.
Didn't seem to do anything to it, no.
But I'd also like to say it didn't do anything until one of us, like a humanoid, stepped into the circle. So it may just be ignoring the badger.
Yeah, I got the feeling that if the eye itself isn't intelligent, then
Hold on, how big is the circle? Like, what's like
It's
the...
about, it's pretty much taking up it's about 10 feet by 10 or so. It's a little longer across than it is wide, so it's not quite a circle technically, I guess, but it's more like in the shape of an eye, you know? So it's probably about 10 feet. Like, it does take the entire width of the hallway. It's maybe 15 to 20 feet long.
Because I'm wondering if we could just... Do we have like a blanket or something we just throw over the eye?
the eye's on the ceiling, right? Or is it on the ground?
Oh, I thought it was on a pedestal.
Does the edge of the circle, like, go under the wall, or does it just touch the wall?
It pretty much touches the wall at each point more than anything. It doesn't seem to go under it necessarily.
So it's more like an oval, right, than like a full-fledged circle.
Yes, it's like an oval, roughly in the shape of an eye. I mean, like, in terms of, like, it fits an eye pretty much neatly inside of it, yeah.
Okay. So then it's more narrow at the tips than it is in the center, right?
A little bit, but it doesn't start narrowing out until a good ways in. It's pretty much, it follows along the sides of the wall pretty evenly at the center and then start shortening out.
Okay, I hate wasting magic, but I can't see a way to get past this.
Remember, we're going to have to go back.
Yeah, I know, but like I said, I can't see a way through this. I will cast Spider Climb on myself, and I will just crawl along the wall and not touch the circle.
The eye follows you the entire time, but you do get across.
Okay.
But it was watching you the entire time.
I hope I didn't just waste a spell slot for nothing. Oh, by the way, the badgers are gone.
Gosh.
Poof. No badgers.
Okay, we should hurry up before Dalen gets too far ahead of us.
Yep. I got 4 spells left in me.
He is still. I mean, he couldn't have gotten that far. As you have gone to the other side of the room now, the second that I lit up, the staircase pretty much collapsed in on itself, and it is just a solid metal ramp at this point that is too steep to get up.
Oh, wait, and he went up the stairs? No, he went down.
He would not have been able to go up the stairs.
But he's gone.
You should still be there, unless he really just fucking disappeared.
I did not just disappear.
Okay, so I didn't waste the spell slot. You said it's a ramp, right?
It is, yes.
Cool, I'm gonna start crawling up the ramp.
Can you carry me? Can I get on your back?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do not think Dalen will be able to walk up this now, but that is fair.
So, Dalen, you just stay right here. We're gonna see if there are any cultists, and if there are no cultists, we'll come back and tell you, and then we can all leave.
Unnecessary, as I would like to whip out 2 javelins, snap the heads off of them, and use them as piton and climb.
Okay, you don't have to be that crazy. We just reached the top and.
What do you mean that crazy? This is perfectly normal behavior for a devoted servant of the Orthan Republic.
Okay, you don't have to be that reckless. Just let us get to the top. We'll drop a rope for you.
You should have said that before I broke 2 javelins.
You were. We didn't know what you were doing.
Very well. Here is the end of a rope. Kindly take it with you.
Okay. I'll say hold on to that rope for me.
Okay, I got it.
Start spooling it out for them to carry up.
God, I miss Sarlin. He would have just been able to run up this ramp.
Yeah, he would have, yeah.
Okay, so you get to the top of it.
I say that to Alize, verbally.
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll see him soon.
So you get up to the top and let... Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, that's not how I meant it.
That's so creepy.
We're gonna bring him back. I'm living.
Okay. So yeah, so you do get to the top. The door at the top does open into a small room opposite of those large double doors, with another set of large double stone doors on the other side of this room.
Is there any kind of plateau to this ramp, or is it just completely down?
You would have to get into the room.
Okay.
There's no plateau.
I'll push on the door, see if it budges.
Yeah, it does open. That door opens. You are
Okay.
able to get into this small room right here.
Oh, on the other side of the... Perfect.
Double doors. With another set of double doors.
Oh, good. All right, so once we get in here, I'll drop the rope down for Dalen to get up.
You have to be tied to anything. Like, I can't pull Dalen up. Maybe if we pull our weight together.
Is there, are there handles on the big double doors?
There's no handles.
Oh, shit.
There are carvings and a hole on each of them that you have not looked over yet necessarily, but no handles or anything like that, or anything you could tie a rope to in this room, really.
There's no, wall sconces for torches?
There are. They don't seem necessarily sturdy enough to hold the weight of Dalen, but...
Okay.
Do they seem sturdier than 2 small elves? 2 elflings?
I think 2 elves probably have a little more strength. These are not, particularly sturdy. They seem like they could bend pretty easily.
Okay, Tim. I hope you're stronger than I am. Do this.
I think I am slightly stronger, but still very pathetically weak.
Okay. Alright, start climbing, Dalen.
Okay, I'll start climbing.
Okay. For this, one of you can make a strength check with advantage then.
Please,
Let me
Kian.
know.
Is there any way? I guess I already have advantage, so there's no bonus. Because I'm spider climbing, so I can't really. I'm stuck to things. But yeah,
This would be more of an issue of being able to hold on to the rope.
that's fair.
Also, I'm just wondering, how much does he weigh compared to us?
That's pretty good.
With all my gear, I weigh about 420 pounds.
Yeah, you're able to pretty much hold on with Alice's help with little issue. Galen, kind of like trying to climb up a slide, a very slippery slide, but you are able to top.
Excellent work, the two of you. See, we're already acting as a team. Now,
Half of us are.
Door.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. You're confused, Kian says as he starts climbing down the slide again. I'm not standing within 50 feet of you.
Wait, Kian, wait for me.
Well, so I will attempt to open the door to the right hand. See if it's the same sort of situation.
It is exactly the same, pretty much.
Can I look over the door and see if there's like a mechanism or something to it?
Yeah. You could do a yeah, you could do an investigation check. Okay. There are pretty obvious things that you would notice, but not depending on the role really. But basically, there are these kinds of inscriptions along this door, as well as some kinds of imagery and symbolism that seem very similar to the altars. And at the very center of the door, kind of cut into two half circles where the middle, where the two doors meet, there does seem to be this hole kind of in the doors where some kind of object could probably fit in it. And if you put two and two together, you would imagine that's the mechanism to open it.
How big does the hole seem?
It's probably around the size of either a very large medallion or it's about the size of like a head. Like
so it's not the size of. Is it? It's not the size of one of the grenades.
It is not the size of one of the grenades. No.
You could put a grenade in there and then detonate it, though.
But we determined that they are not themselves explosives.
We have not determined that at all.
Okay.
Anyway, you're not here. You both backed up.
We're really halfway down the slide.
There's nothing to the north of.
Nope. There's just the double doors to the west, double doors to the east.
Very well.
There is some of the inscriptions. You have no idea what they are. You could ask one of your tiers to look at them if you'd like, but
none of them are in common.
No.
There's nothing that are in giant.
They are not in giant either. But the markings are very similar to the altar, which Alice, I believe, had with some mixture of a language that no one in the party spoke, and arcane symbols.
Well, yeah, I'll just hit it with my maul and see what happens.
Fine. You hit it with your maul. It's not hard to hit anything, so you don't need to attack it or anything. Swings against it, doesn't even really make a dent. But nothing else seems to happen.
Very well. Okay, let's try it this way then. I'll pop out one of the magical grenades and shove it into the hole. I know it's smaller, but see what happens.
Okay. Roll 1d3 for me.
One.
He will cut back to the other side of the party then. Okay. So, your plan then was to carry a cloth-wrapped, unconscious man back to the Grand Cathedral?
Yep.
And I believe that you and Booth had been having a conversation along the way.
Yes.
Okay. And Devona, you got pieces of that conversation?
Yeah, I did.
Cool. But yes, you're about, at this point, you probably made it about 15, 20 minutes out carrying this body. You've gotten some looks, but no one's stopped you at this point. Around this time, you hear a deafening, or if you were close to it, be deafening. At this distance, it's not exactly from the direction you just came. And a giant explosion.
Oh.
Goof will say, Dylan must have dropped one of those triggers.
Well, if somebody had told me they were triggers and not magical games.
I think
Rip half the party.
Is that half the party? It's just been exploded in a small nuke that's gone off?
You have no idea. We'll cut back soon enough. Don't worry.
Yeah,
At least the party didn't wait there, right?
Yeah. That could have been like twice as bad.
Hey, on
But
the
you
bright side, the right half of the party is surviving. They'll come back as high level 9.
You do, though, like I said here, a very loud explosion that came exactly from where, like, the direction you had that you came from.
So, we should probably go check that, right? Let's go do that.
We're only, you said 20 minutes out from the cathedral?
No, you're 20 minutes from where you left, from that building. So about
Oh.
40 minutes out from the cathedral. Not quite halfway there yet. And if you could hear it from that distance, you presume the explosion had to be massive.
Yeah, we should go
Yeah.
back and see.
You look at, yeah.
Okay, so you're going to head back.
Yep.
Okay. Again, it takes you about 20 minutes. About 15 minutes out, so 15, 18, whatever. When you start getting close, you can just see this kind of charring along the street.
How many people did we just kill?
How much
Sounds
was,
like a lot.
yeah,
As
how
you
much
do-
was Breach charred?
As you do get closer, the building that you had just come from will cut back, just to give you some idea here. The building you had just come from, this building here, I'll get these guys off the map, pretty much completely gone, leveled. I'll just drop these all off the map for now. Just to give you an idea of basically, so this building was completely leveled, and I'll just kind of give you a sense. Pretty much all the buildings in this-ish area, and then of course the same direction, the same distance in the other direction. The ones closest, so here and here, are pretty much like each like just half gone as well, like completely leveled. And the other buildings around it have been severely damaged.
So yeah, they're dead. They're just
And you have come right now, you're at the edge of this zone. Probably, somewhere like that.
Wow.
What's happening?
The man killed everyone.
yeah, you leveled the area.
And, yeah. Devona, when she
Holy
sees
shit.
it, she's be like, and let these guys go.
Wow.
These guys are monsters.
We're told that they were terrorists.
Oh my god, very effective terrorists.
Yeah.
That answers your question. I'll say about whether or not we can go back.
Well, I'm not. Are we alive?
We'll
I feel
find
like-
out. We'll find out. Don't worry. But yeah, you're at the edge of the zone right now. Pretty much, like I said, the building you came from completely leveled. The buildings closest to it are almost identically leveled, although there's pieces on the outskirts of those buildings still standing. And the ones at the edges of it, so the store and these two buildings here and up here, aren't exactly leveled, but like pretty much the front is like severely damaged.
Oh my god, that little old lady that helped us is dead.
The guy who sold you pickles, dead.
That altar had a lot of explosives in it.
Yeah.
Huh. Well,
Gee, if only someone had had the foresight to warn us about those devices.
uh,
I mean, you did give an answer. They're very dangerous and very destructive, and they would cause a lot of damage, I believe. Just not specifically, I suppose.
It's like Oof was trying to kill us.
wow.
What would you like to do, though?
Devona, what do you have in mind?
Devona just seething with rage right now.
And what time is it in game?
At this point, it'd be getting close to 11 for you.
Okay.
Just get this guy quickly over to the cathedral.
Well,
And she briskly turns around and starts marching toward the cathedral.
and do you have the body on you? Are you dragging it behind you?
I mean, it's either me or August. I don't
I think you have
Oof,
more.
yeah.
So
You have what? I didn't hear what you said.
What did you say?
Aaron.
I said I think Devona has more strength technically. So
Okay.
Yeah.
August, if you want to go with her, I need to have a wee. I'll catch up with you shortly. And and Oof will wink at August.
Uh-huh. Well. mhm.
What would you like to do then, August?
Yeah. I think August is just gonna be like, well, I think I need to have a wee too, as you put it. This is definitely made me think about having a wee.
Okay.
Yes. Quote unquote.
Deadly explosions really make people have to pee. So, Devona, both of them are apparently going off to pee.
We'll be
Yeah.
right back.
She still
Together?
doesn't believe that.
Are you going to continue taking off the body or something else then?
No, she's taking care of the body.
Fair enough. So you're taking the body to the Grand Cathedral then?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so what are you two doing? I presume not peeing.
No.
No.
Do you have questions, August?
Yeah. Namely, what the fuck just happened? Why didn't explosion? That's probably the most obvious question. Why explosion?
Well, you remember when Dalen found those two balls in that one room?
Yeah.
Those were triggers. And they were set to make the altars explode. So he must have released one or something along that effect, and it blew this joint up.
And why didn't you tell us?
Well, I tried to warn you, but I wasn't quite exactly sure until I had it completely figured out. Yeah. I tried to warn you, though, yeah. But,
That's not a good answer.
Did you find a book or a scroll somewhere recently?
Yeah.
Were you able to read any of it?
Yeah.
What did it say?
End of the world, kind of, John. Usual culty stuff.
Did it have any particular specifics?
I don't know. Why don't you tell me what you're trying to get me to say?
Well, when the child had me, I was presented with a prophecy about the end of the world. And I think we might be experiencing that right now. Basically, it said when the eagle and the dragon went at it, the end of the world was near.
Yeah, that's what I read in the book.
Well, did you notice the masks that these guys had on?
Yes, it's very clear, obviously. And I think they're the heroes.
Yeah. And did you happen to notice like the staff that His Royal Holiness had?
Have we actually seen him? Or just like depictions of him with the staff?
You haven't seen him in person.
But we've seen a depiction of him with the staff, yeah?
There are paintings of him in the Grand Cathedral, as well as statues.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's clear. It's pretty clear what the cult is saying with this book. That the Orthan Republic will bring about the end of the world, specifically their God King, and that they're trying to stop it. It's very clear.
I have been noticing recently some evil nature within Orthan, and I think these cultists are our best chance of stopping them from causing great harm.
I mean, look around you. They also cause great harm.
They did, but I'm not sure that wasn't accidental.
How do you accidentally cause an explosion of this size?
Well,
How do you accidentally have items that can do this?
they may have been trying to protect themselves. Sometimes things are for the greater good. I know that sounds horrible, but it's true. But either way, I can't justify working for the Orthan Republic.
I'm not sure I trust either side, really. I'm not sure why you do.
That's understandable, certainly. Do you see this thing around my neck, this vial that I've got on?
The what?
I have a vial here, and I take this vial off this necklace on my neck, and I'm gonna hand it to you.
Alright.
Do you take it?
Sure, that seems like a good idea.
Okay. When you touch it, you hear a voice come into your head. So you have doubts then?
Yes, a lot, especially because now there's a voice in my head.
I believe your party has encountered me before. I go by Tathir.
Oh, the one who tried to drown my friend.
He was not cooperative.
Ah, yes, a perfectly valid reason to drown someone.
I may have lost my temper.
Hmm.
While I do not necessarily align with these religious members, they are an asset to some of the goals that I'm working to achieve. They cause quite a bit of disruption within Orthan.
What are your goals?
To see the destruction of Orthan before they end the world.
How will they end the world?
Their leader, I believe he likes going by his heavenly sovereign, seeks power far beyond him. Power that once unleashed will devastate all life as we know it on this planet.
How would he even get about going and getting this power?
That is information that can be found out soon enough. It doesn't seem relevant at the moment.
Why should I trust you? You and these cultists just blew up half a block and possibly some of my company.
That's your friends. Impatience more than anything. They had to set it off. They had the devices. As for trust, I don't expect trust, not immediately, but I do believe that even you could see the possible dangers of Orthon and could at least be willing to keep an open mind.
Of course.
They
So-
clearly, I mean, as you have probably already seen, their society is dangerous.
Clearly.
If they were to gain significant power, even if they weren't able to achieve the power that I fear, they will subject this entire world, and that's hardly better.
Mm,
I will admit that these religious members' means are a bit extreme. I don't necessarily believe in wholesale slaughter to make a point, but they've done what they've deemed to be necessary. And while, like I said, I don't support the result, I at least can endorse the ends they're trying to accomplish.
fair enough. What exactly would you want me to do, if anything? Or oof, for that matter.
Oof already has a deal with me, so that won't be relevant here necessarily. But mostly just keep an eye out for me. Oof has been supplying information for me about what its activities. That's all I ask for now. And to keep an open mind about these religious members, at least for now. I haven't necessarily come to an exact conclusion myself on the matter yet, but like I said, they're an asset at the moment.
Fair enough. If if the worst happens, well, I'm gonna take him out, but I'm gonna hope it doesn't come to that.
That would be ideal. It would also be ideal if this meeting occurred without the overseeing of any members that would be violent or oppositional currently to the goals that I'm hoping to accomplish.
Yeah, I get it. You've already told me what I should be doing, but I wanted more answers because I can't just go along with this after this. But I will. I will because I just needed more information, and this is enough, I'd say.
Good. If you have any further questions or concerns, I'm sure Oof could provide them for you, or I could if need be. But like I said, I'm not asking for trust or loyalty or anything foolish like that. If you would trust me immediately, I would not take your common sense to be very high.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go do my job then, I guess.
That should be fine then, if you would just return me then.
Yep. August will hand the goop back.
And I put it back around my neck.
And August waves and heads back to the cathedral to hopefully meet with Devona in time.
Okay. And Oof
will be on his way to scout out the meeting location.
Okay. So we will cut back to the other half of the party now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you had inserted it, again, this time you hear pretty much, it's not deafening, but near deafening explosion come from, cut back to the other map real quick. A near deafening explosion coming from the southwest. And again, much of the ceiling starts to shake, and it does seem much more violent than before.
That was not a good thing.
The door has not opened. What would you like to do?
Dalen, what was that?
Ian, please come back up here quickly.
Okay.
Oh,
What is going on?
Okay, let's try to get back up.
What happened? What just happened, Dale?
Do not concern yourself with it. Alison,
no.
The arcane
hold on. I'm gonna be concerned with it. That seemed mildly concerning. Everything shaking and this place may be collapsing while we are inside of it.
It has not collapsed thus far.
Oh, well then I guess it's just fine.
Indeed. Thus, please decipher the markings on this door.
We need to find someone who, works here. Or
Agreed.
lives here.
That is what we have been trying to do.
For the help desk.
Yeah, and we need to surrender to them and tell them, please don't kill us. Because I think we're destroying this place.
Suggest such a thing?
We are so far in over our heads here, Dalen.
Nonsense. Utter nonsense. These cowardly cultists are simply hiding from us because they know they cannot face us.
Okay, well, I do not think that surrendering to cultists is something we should do. I also don't think it's even remotely feasible that they would be hiding from us. They're either not here or they're preparing to ambush us. Because there is absolutely no way they don't know that we're here.
If they were preparing to ambush us, they would have done so already. They are hiding.
I don't know. We haven't really entered into any large chambers. They're probably waiting for a place where we're not going to funnel
The
them.
door.
Okay. I will analyze the arcane markings on the door.
Okay, you can do an Arcana check. That's pretty solid. You do clearly see this is some kind of. It does seem linked to that circle that's open in the door. It does seem that it is actually, with that roll, that it, while it seems that it would be activated by the hole, the magic actually seems to be somewhat, I don't know how to explain that. Well, forget what school of magic that is. That's a bad time to forget that, but whatever. It seems it would actually create something in that hole. So it actually is activated magically.
Do I have any idea how to act?
You think that some kind of spell that would be powerful enough. It basically seems to be something that absorbs magic, if that makes any sense. Like a spell powerful enough cast on it maybe would activate it.
Man, I really don't. I'm not using a 5th level spell slot on this door. And unless you want me to cast shield on it, that's all I've got. I think that you had it backwards. I think you cast magic on the door and something will appear in the hole.
Excellent. Cast magic on the door.
As I have repeatedly stated, I don't have the magic to cast on this.
You have said repeatedly you only have some magic. This seems like an apt use for a small portion of that magic.
I don't think. Okay, so the way magic works is you have spells. Right now, I'm in a state where I only.
Hold on, Alex. Can you guess the strength of which the magic needs to be?
Do I have any idea how much magic is needed?
Yeah, it was a pretty good roll. You feel that it would take a pretty powerful spell. Not like top tier necessarily, but you would guess middle-ish powerful. If we wanted a number, which isn't technically really there, but you'd guess in the range of somehow the number 3 seems to be hitting your mind a lot.
Okay. I think adept tier magic would be what we need there. I don't know how druids rank magic, but for me it would be not a extremely difficult spell, but it would take a significant amount of focus.
Yeah, it would be someone who had to spend years training, right?
Yes.
Okay. I have more spells left than you. I can afford, or I shouldn't say I can afford, because I have no
I should also mention that not only am I not sure if this will open the door, I have no idea what exactly will appear in them.
Then we should hurry and find out.
No idea if this will help us at all.
Ian, over to you to cast your magic.
Ah, shit, okay. This is it, though. I'm not casting any more spells unless it's dire. And I will put my hands on the wall or the door and expend a 4th level spell slot into the door.
Okay. It doesn't necessarily matter a lot, but just for the sake of it, what spell are you casting? Just for kicks?
I'll just cast the most benign spell I can think of, so that, if for some reason, like, the nature of the magic affects what's produced, I'll cast Cure Wounds at a 4th level into the door.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. So as you do that, the door does light up, in a bluish color, similarly to the eye before. So yeah, so it does, like I said, open, start glowing, and you do see that bluish kind of magical energy start gathering in the hole. After about 10 seconds or so of this, an image does appear of an eye, and it just seems to look at you somewhat expectingly.
Okay.
A few seconds pass, and then you hear, in your mind, telepathically, you hear a voice. State your name and business.
Commander Galen Stormspeaker, on behalf of His Heavenly Sovereign, Dread Malign II, I command you to open.
And you too. What do you respond, if anything, inside your heads?
Oh, well, since he said that, I am Allison of Elder Spring, and I would like to leave. It'd help.
I will say that my name is Kian of Cressa, Guardian of the Woodlands, and I have no quarrel with the people here, provided we're allowed to leave without being harmed.
It seems to take a second after that. The eye does close, and the door does start to part open.
Okay, that works.
We're gonna die. We're so gonna die.
You're absolutely going to die.
What
We
would you
shall
like to
die
do?
gloriously.
No,
Go through
it
the
won't.
door.
Okay. As you do go through the door, you enter into a massive chamber.
This is the ambush chamber I was talking about just recently.
Are there any people in it?
At the very center, what seems to be an altar of this space, as you are entering, it does actually go much farther south as well, but this is kind of this opening space currently. There's an altar. I'll at least have something about at the center of this room, from where you're currently standing at least, with 4 pillars around it, and around that entire area is a very large circle, very similar to something you've seen before. And there is a figure standing by the altar.
Excellent. I shall start striding until I hit the edge of the circle.
I think this is it, I'll say. I think this is the point where he is going to engage, and we need to decide whether or not we're fighting with him or we are running.
It is about time we found you. My companions and I are here to arrest you.
We're 30 feet behind, at least.
At least 30 feet behind.
Actually, wait, can I be 60 feet away? How big is this room? No, not 30 feet.
Is this scale accurate?
The smaller, the actual squares are, I don't think it's technically, but each square is 5 feet. So if you want to use that as a reference point there.
How high or low is the ceiling?
The room is tall enough that you can't see the ceiling.
Perfect. All right. I'll just look at the Alice and say, if stuff really gets bad, one of us turns into a T-Rex.
Oh, right. I have enough. I can cast that spell once. But I had a different one in mind, but I can do that once.
And just as a point of reference, it's not exact, but the picture is pretty close. It worked for what I needed. This is the figure that's standing at the altar, just so you have a point of reference there.
Oh, good. Yeah,
look. I hate running into those.
Yeah. They're fun, right? It's not that, obviously, but the picture worked.
Yeah. Nah, it's the D&D version. Worse.
he also riding a dragon?
She is not. But as you did enter and approach and claim to arrest him, you do hear kind of a chuckle. I'm afraid that are not really in a position of demands. He does kind of turn towards you at this point.
Dalen, we're outclassed. You can get the concept of living to...
There is one man.
I don't think he
has
gets.
been guaranteed if you surrender.
Of course I shall not surrender, but I shall offer you the opportunity to do so, and I shall not cave in your skull.
I'll look at Alice. Do we
Can I just-
take that?
Can I just ask you something real quick, mysterious figure?
If you must.
Is your goal to disrupt the activities and lives of the people living in Orthan?
Not necessarily, no. Sadly, that might be an outcome sometimes. But if you're interested in such a conversation, we could have it at a later date, but I believe I expect your immediate surrender, or I cannot promise your safety.
What does our surrender entail? Our capture?
For now, you will be freed after, though.
I don't suppose we can just talk this through diplomatically.
No, we cannot.
It's about as diplomatic as it will get, so I expect an answer now.
This is my answer, and I will go for the rage.
I don't. I will let deliberate while I deliberate. I don't. Kian, if you want to surrender, I'm not gonna hold against you. I don't think I can surrender to terrorists.
I knew I liked
terrorists.
These people are the exact opposite of everything I stand for.
Fuck, Alice. No, I'm not gonna let you just die.
At the sound of you raging, I clearly denying a surrender, about 24 arrows come sailing at you.
At him.
Yep.
As now slats in the wall slide open, and there is probably a good 20 cult members in the room with you. Fools,
it will take many more than this.
Okay, well, are you sure about that? You want me to start rolling all the arrows?
Did we do initiative?
This is a surprise round.
Oh, okay.
Against you. I believe you. Can one of you not be surprised?
Barbarian.
Dalen.
So
yeah,
yes,
because
we
I
will.
can't be surprised because I'm raging.
Yes, so we will roll initiative then, but all those arrows are coming.
But not towards us, because we haven't done anything aggressive.
Right.
You're not.
Right.
And you could still surrender.
Beside the road.
You could still surrender. Yes, your tokens will be massive. I'll just take them down for you, but.
Oh, right. I did put token there.
Nope. It says we're that size on the map. It's no take backsies. We're that big.
Destroy them warehouse.
I told you it would take much more.
Oh, sorry, I'm fucking with that right now. I'll play it.
Okay.
It's
I would like to say that we're like 30 feet away, right?
You were talking, but I mean, that's fair enough.
I would be fine with shouting across the room.
That's gonna be super big, too.
It's a horrible nightmare figure. I don't know what it is in D&D wise, but I don't like it.
I mean, it's mostly aesthetic, but it's pretty nasty. Don't worry. But the picture was mostly for the aesthetic of it.
Also, just for the record, I don't think we could take 20 cultists.
Unless you got some kind of AoE.
I mean, I usually do. I think usually we could take 20 cultists. I can't right now.
These cultists are very similar to the 5 that certain other party members have seen, by the way. These do not look like the ones you had initially seen.
So they don't just
Maybe
fall
we could take 20. If we were all together, I'd like our odds a little better. But, yeah. And there are doors on the other side of this room, right?
So it feels like there's a decent chance that this guy is like a decent spellcaster, so that we shouldn't rule out the possibility of like a counter spell, which
Well-
just could cripple us.
Listen, I only have a few spell slots. I'm going to cast a spell, and if he counterspells it, then that's that. I have to try.
You need your initiative still, I would say.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
The door, is it closed behind us, or is
That's
it?
not my
The
door.
door you came in is open. The doors behind that are closed, obviously, still.
I really don't think we can leave that way, though.
Hey, 16 badgers can tunnel through a lot of stone.
Not very quickly. That might be the downfall there. That's there.
Can we pop it into, like, gnats and, like, hope we eventually fly out of here?
I thought I was hoping to get gaseous form, because then we could definitely fly out of here.
Feels like a great spell to have right now.
Or dimension door, that would also be amazing.
Yeah.
I have teleportation spells, but they're all tree-based. It's very weird.
Tree based.
Excellent
super
druid magic. Great for dungeons.
Okay. Sending Dalen, you are up first.
Okay, I'm gonna charge the spell over.
He is on that circle that you were standing on the edge of. Are you going in the circle?
I am going in the circle.
Okay. It does light up when you step inside of it. Make a wisdom saving throw.
16.
Okay. You do shrug it off, but there does seem to have been some force there. That was probably going to do something to you, you would presume.
Pounding through it, rage. Because good old flaw of my hatred of my enemies is blind to reasoning. Plus personality trait of staring down a hellhound without flinching, and then the ideal of my duty to my nation above all means I am not running away.
Well, technically, your party's members only guarantee 2 of your safety, so I wonder which 2 that will.
That may also be factoring into the decision being like, one of us is almost certainly going to die, and it was always going to be me. The other party members.
You can do your turn.
Yes, so I will make 2 reckless great weapon master. Okay. 20.
Both will hit.
24, 6, 50 points. And then bonus action to use my Sea Aura. Seems to make a dex save, only takes 5 points of damage.
Okay.
Okay, so it takes 2 points of lightning damage.
Okey doke.
And that is my turn.
Okay, this is going to be a lot of rolls.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll start working through this. They are all at you, Dan. Every single one.
I seem to like that did seem to hurt the spellcast, right? It's not just like,
It hurt. You didn't pass through air or anything. It's not like
he'll remember me. Oh yeah, at 27 of it. Oh, I don't know.
Actually, we should take these every hit for now. Okay, that's 14 plus 13, 27. Half. It is piercing damage, so it is half.
Yeah.
You need to make con saves off both those, though.
Oh, great.
Get out of here.
All right, you do make the second one. You do not make the first one. Let me double check the damage on that. Okay, yeah. How do I keep using this page? You took an additional 6 points of poison damage.
Okay. So that was 14 halves, 13 halves, 7, 6, 3, 16 points total.
I believe that one will hit.
I will pull a card from the crate.
Okay, roll me a...
9.
Or no, go
Nice.
for a D. Yeah, that works too, though. Okay, so that will mitigate 9 points of damage. Oh, it reduces the attack,
It is
right?
now 26 for the round.
Okay.
Okay, so that will still hit.
That will hit. 8, make a con save.
Yep.
You pass that one. And that has been... Yeah.
Oh shit, another one.
Yep. So that'll be 8. Make another con save. Make that pretty easily.
Is this a glorious death?
24 will not hit, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Gray stops it. Jesus
Okay, make another con save.
That shouldn't be an advantage.
Yeah, well, 20 is enough, though, but yeah. I need to count these real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16. 5 more.
That's cool.
1,
misses.
2, 3, 4,
Miss.
5. There we go.
I'm missing. Cool, so I've got 5 arrows sticking at me.
You do.
I'm looking okay.
Not if it goes for round 2, but yeah, I mean. Okay, that will end their turns. It will now be his turn. What does he want to do? He has quite a few options.
Healing word on Dalen. Always a good option.
He'll turn to you, look down at you, and just say, surrender. Make a wisdom save.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ah.
Oh, yeah. You're going to want to do that now. He cast a command on you.
Yep.
Okay, Kian, you're up. Make a choice.
Well, fuck. I am going to look at Alice.
I would like to. I don't want to surrender, but I do not look at all confident after seeing all these people come out of the wall.
I am going to hold my action to cast a spell. I'm going to wait to see what Alice does.
Okay, so
Sorry,
withholding a spell, depending on Alice's action.
You're casting the command spell,
Yes.
so it lasts for 1 turn, right?
On your next turn, you have to follow the command. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's the language of it.
Yeah, that'll just be all I do.
Okay, Alice.
Okay.
At least
All of these guys are looking at Dalen, right?
Yes, they all just fired off their crossbows at him. About 20 crossbow bolts went flying into the center of this room.
We need to leave. I'm not surrendering, but I am also not suicidal. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do that. Okay, really, Kian, can you get yourself out of this room?
Yes, actually, I can cover our escape pretty well. I just need to be able to get out of here.
I can either cast invisibility on both of us or greater invisibility on one of us. Oh, wait. Scratch that. I may be wrong about that. No, wait, does greater invisibility you can't cast at higher levels?
No, all spells can be cast at a higher level. Just something.
Right, no, but I mean, I can't cover 2 people with it.
No, I don't think so.
Not greater invisibility, I don't believe. I believe that... I don't actually know what that does at higher. I don't think it has an effect at higher levels.
I don't see one. Okay, those are my options. I'm not sure which one. I have 1 5th level spell slot.
Do you have any other spell slots?
I have 3 first level spell slots, which I
Okay.
only have mage armor and shield.
Well, then do the thing that gets us out of here the fastest. Cast fly on both of us.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna blade dance first. Just, some extra AC would be nice. And I will cast fly at 5th level, I guess, for the 2 of us. And 3 cult. No.
Yeah. Yeah, Dalen's a little out of range for that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna fly out the door we just went in.
As Alice does that, I am going to cast Wall of Stone, and bring up a wall of stone that will cover our escape completely, like going around the door.
Okay.
And that's intended to be in 3 dimensions. So like a slat that goes like up into the wall itself, so like there's no way to actually get it.
Okay, yeah. I think that makes sense. Technically, one of the members would have gotten an attack of opportunity against you.
I want to ask though, are they all holding bows and arrows?
Well, can I say, since I was holding my action to see what Alice was doing, as soon as Alice cast Fly, couldn't have I cast Wall of Stone in that moment?
I think that's fair, yeah.
Cool.
L55.
Okay, so you're flying out of the room then.
Yeah, just as far as I can go. I mean,
so down here, yeah, back into this.
This is a very short-term plan.
Okay, does that end your turn?
I was keying. Oh, he can't move, can he?
He can't move. He could just use his action, but he did use it to stone off. I presume it's something like, well, I'll try to draw it on. It won't be obviously the side you're trying to escape in, but kind of like walled off like that.
Yeah.
Ish. But more obviously that it's probably like sloped into the wall or whatever.
That's exactly what I want. Yeah, like a slope coming up from the ground into the wall.
I got you. Cool. I think he just disconnected. Who disconnected? Daryl. Yeah, I presume that was the end of his turn now. Dalen, you're up.
Yeah, so I've been ordered to surrender, so I will drop my weapon on the ground and like hold out my hands as though expecting to be handcuffed, I suppose. And that's my turn.
It is now the cultist turn. That was not what I wanted there. Okay. Alice, you see this entire wall slides open.
Open?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, it's probably about to be a little less interesting, but there are 4 cultists standing on the other side.
That's alarming.
That might be a more accurate word for that, yes.
Oh.
As for the rest, these ones will start dashing. They can get like about halfway into the room. Let's move these all guys up. These ones I'll just move down.
We should have went with invisibility.
I don't want to move you.
I don't think the eye would have cared about your invisibility.
Oh, you're right. Maybe we're screwed.
Oh, I think we're pretty screwed. I think we're just making the best choice right now.
Yeah. Waiting for an opportunity that I don't see why we would even get one. Who knows?
Okay, so all the cultists are moving in on you, obviously, Dalen.
There's a big wall blocking the way, so.
And does he want to ensure that? Could be a waste, but he'll go for it. Make another wisdom save.
16.
Okay. You are paralyzed. Kian, you're up.
Well, fuck. All right, well, I'll turn around and start flying.
Okay, you can pretty much get to a little farther than where Alice is, although you will probably see the cultists as you enter the room.
I mean, that other door doesn't...
That one was sealed, so...
Could I have heard the cultists, maybe? Like a wall slid away, right?
You heard a wall slide open.
Because I know... Does this door here have a similar hole inside?
Yes.
No, I think the guy opened it. Okay, I'm just gonna stick with Alice, and maybe this will be our.
Would you Would you like to do anything? You'd have an action.
Oh, I could dash out of here, right?
You'd have to go over the eye, but yes.
Oh shit! Right, that eye.
Nothing happened when you went over it. I mean, except for them watching us.
No, we need to be able to get out of here. And there's a bunch of cultists right now, so I need to do something to stop them
No, just
from being a
go.
problem.
We just need to leave.
Okay, I guess you're right. I'll dash through the eye. It is. Like maybe here-ish.
I need to make a roll, sorry.
Okay.
Okay. When you pass over the eye, you stop flying.
Gosh. Ah!
Cool. But I still can, like, dash, right?
You can still dash. It just won't be the fly speed at this point.
Cool. That's nice. Good to know. Anti-magic. I guess I'll just try and I'll get to the end of the room.
Okay, Alice, you're up.
I see that happen. There's no way I cannot go past the eye, right? Actually, that wall opened up. Where do those cultists come from? Can I see?
Oh, yeah. It comes from, I'll reveal that at this point. A small room here. There's an altar in that room. Some kind of shrine, it seems like.
Okay. Are they using these things to teleport? Okay. Nothing in my inventory that can help. I'm about to get desperate and just start trying stuff.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, I'm just gonna start trying stuff, I guess. I'm gonna fly after Kian. Do I stop flying as well?
We will find out. Yeah, you stop flying.
Okay. I'm like, I don't know exactly what it does, but maybe it'll help. Who knows? I reach in my bag and I'll just put on that cursed ring we found a long time ago.
Okay. That seems like a great time to do that.
I mean, you know, if there ever was a time.
Okay. There doesn't seem to be an immediate effect.
Okay. And I will just get ready to be attacked, I guess.
Okay. Dalen, you are up.
Okay, so am I like whole person paralyzed? Or
Yes, you're a whole person paralyzed.
So then I can do nothing until
No.
except at the end of my turn, I assume.
Yep.
Okay, come on, high roll. Natural 20!
You are no longer paralyzed, but you're
Okay.
still not in a good situation.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna look at this. I'm just gonna look at the sorcerer's dude and be like, well, I'm just gonna get ready to Jim next turn, like pick up the hammer thing. Oh no, wait, hang on, is it? No, yeah, it's just
It is at the end of the turn, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just furiously raging.
Alright.
Come on, big bro.
I think they will.
There's only 20 of you. That's nothing. I got this.
21.
Yeah.
These will charge up behind you, pretty much surround you. They all have their swords drawn and pretty much just pointed at you at this point. And all of these will line up. I'll start moving them and are training all their crossbows at you, but they're holding all their actions. They probably expect you to be reasonable at this point, but they're all training their crossbows.
Life and unreasoning.
All the ones around you have their swords drawn, pointed directly at you, and the ones farther away all have their crossbows pointed at you.
Yeah.
He will turn to you and just be like, "This is hopeless for you. Just surrender, and your life will be guaranteed." I can't promise much for your friends. They seem to have ran off, but make your choice.
You're a fool, and I'm going to kill you.
As for the 4 cultists in there, similarly, these 2 will kind of come down. These 2 will approach. The 2 in the back have their crossbows drawn. The 2 close to have their swords pointed at you, and they just turn to you and say, "Surrender now." But it is your turn, Kian. They're holding their actions as well. You there, Kian?
If you are, we can't hear you.
I know he was having audio issues earlier.
Yeah. Although there are only 4 of these people in this room, right?
Yeah, that you see currently.
We won't be able to take 4 people. I don't know. I don't think we take them fast enough. And there are probably there's another one of them somewhere.
For now, we'll take your turn, Alice.
Okay. So they're pointing swords at us. They're stopped because we're in a circle. We're still in the circle of anti-magic.
You would be. I think Kian would be out of it.
Okay. Do I know if anti-magic stuff works on potions?
You wouldn't be sure exactly in the moment, but you would think that would probably be fine.
Okay. I am going to drink a third of this potion of fire breathing.
Okay.
And then I would like to breathe fire at as many of them as possible.
The second you drink the potion, it was an aggressive move. They're going to attack you.
Okay.
That was their held action.
Have that be.
You will have 2 sword attacks and 2 crossbow attacks.
Okay. So I am going to use one of my very few spell slots to cast Shield. Brings my AC to 27.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Oh my god!
Yeah, you're still in the circle.
Well, then I'm hit twice, and I'm unhappy, and we're going to have words after this.
Alright, the first damage is piercing, the second damage is poison. You take 16 piercing damage and 23 poison damage.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any save for the poison?
Not that poison.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is the 2 crossbow shots.
And I'm hit one more time.
Okay, you do need to make a con save.
I don't need to make a con save, because I'm unconscious.
Oh, you fell unconscious with 9 damage?
I had 9 hit points.
Okay, Alice has gone down. Basically, Kian, she started to try to drink a potion of fire breathing. It was aggressive action, so they used their held action, just attacked her, and she just went down. You can now do your turn.
Well, fuck. But they all can't hit me, so I could just run out of the room.
I wouldn't blame you.
I feel like Alice would tell me to run and not be hero.
I would.
She is very unconscious, though.
Extremely unconscious.
Extremely unconscious.
Exactly unconscious, to be technical. But yes.
Well, do I take that poison damage since I failed the con save?
Technically, yes.
So I'm dying, is the term.
Oh god. Okay. Oh shit, Alice. But I just watched Alice's shield magic fail, so I know I can't do anything. Oh, I'm not?
You got off of it. You had enough movement. Alice did
Shit.
not get off of it.
Okay. Can I make like an Arcana roll or something to figure out, like, do I think casting a spell into it? No, you know what? I've seen something like this before. I'm just going to assume no magic is going to be able to pass through that boundary, which means I am powerless to help Alice, say, pretty much to any degree.
I mean, if it's how it's functioning, not that you know, because everything's just failed. But it is a roll if it fails or not. But
Okay.
everything you've done is just failed, so it wouldn't be
I'm not taking the chances. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna dash. I'm just gonna dash out of here, be a little coward, and just get out of here.
Okay.
I'm not sure how far I can get, but I've got.
If you're dashing, it will just be
70 feet of movement. Yeah, no, but I'm not sure how far I can get in this map. I mean,
yes.
that seems good.
You have
Or maybe
5 more
at the
feet.
beginning of the room. Oh, really?
You could go-
Okay, so like
yeah.
right.
Yeah, right there.
All right, cool. I guess.
presume you didn't go the other way. That goes upstairs. The other upstairs.
Oh wait, there's an upstairs.
But you are currently heading upstairs. You are the farthest down, so either way is upstairs. But there was another path to the south.
Yeah, but we haven't investigated that path.
You have not.
Does it seem like it goes far? Actually, you know what? I know that there are open doors this way. It's better for me to just go this way. Okay. That's it for me.
All right, Dalen, you are up. Make your
I know they're all going to attack me the second I do, but I'm going to pick up my hammer and attack her.
Yes, the second you pick up, they're all going to attack you. That is accurate.
Bring it.
Now, I feel like they can't all attack you.
Most of them are going to attack me.
It's
They're
just like
bigger than the square, to be fair.
Yeah.
So there are they can pretty much fit, and most of them have shots.
Do I have like partial cover because of I'm surrounded by their own people?
From some of the shots.
Aren't you also prone right now, right?
No, I'm putting up.
No, he just got paralyzed.
Why didn't you
we'll
go prone?
We'll start with the 7 that could hit you from melee range.
Yep. I will pull another card from the crate. My reaction.
Okay.
This is 8. What do I do? So 5. What number would that be? 24. That'll be 6. So that'll be my AC to 22. So I've been hit twice.
6, 7. Okay.
4 times.
First damage is piercing, not that one. Second damage is poison. And you say how many times did you get hit?
4.
Alright, so then the last one. So that's what, 14, 24, 35 points of piercing damage, which would be halved for you, and 34 points of poison?
Yep. So that's 51.
And then of the remaining members, I would say 11 have deep. No, I'd say 10 have good shots on you.
Okay.
Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
2 hit me.
The last 2, I presume?
Yeah.
2 con saves.
19 and 12. Probably going to be it. That's
Yes, you will take the additional 11 points of poison on top of the 17 piercing.
and there I go because I'm not high enough to hold up being 0 for hit point.
Are you unconscious then?
I'm just trying to figure out the failed death saves already. Sorry, so it's 9. No, so I'm dying on the ground, unconscious.
Okay. I presume that ends your turn.
As I fall over, did the last 2 triggers in my pocket go off?
That's a good question.
We are right next to an altar.
I'll make a roll for it.
That's the plan. I'm taking them all with me.
And your teammates.
And that was the one right next to us.
No, I'm standing on top of one now.
Right, but you have 2 triggers, and there are 2 altars that we know of.
Well, you have seen, so in total, just as a quick recap, you saw an altar in the first room that you ever went. You saw an altar in that cavern next to the river, whatever, stream. You saw an altar in that room that Kian had a burrow through. You've seen an altar in this room, and you see the altar in the main chamber.
So
and you only have
But
4
if any of them, if any of them are as explosive as that other one, then we will die if it's one of these 2.
They do both activate.
Yes! Come on, main altar.
And so that was
I know that will kill me, but it will kill all of them too. And I call that a win.
Okay, so actually, you're the only one left up, aren't you, Kian?
I am.
Okay. You hear suddenly 2 fairly massive explosions go off.
Oh, but that was a cathedral.
One to the south again, but closer than any of the other explosions that you've heard up to this point. And another one off to the north. At this point, the ceiling is completely collapsing. This is a cave-in.
Like everywhere?
At least around you.
All right, good, great, love it. I'm gonna be fine. Don't worry.
You pretty much a full-on cave-in right now.
So, would you say that, like, because of the rock, a lot of the area here would be like difficult terrain?
The farther you go, at this point, no. But if you head in the direction when the collapse is actively happening, it will become difficult terrain.
All right, cool. I am gonna bank on that because I'm not affected by difficult terrain, but the cultists will be.
Cultists will go over. You are stabilized, I would say.
Okay.
And
excellent.
They will do their thing, but you have no access, either of you, to this point. At this point, he'll do his thing. Kian, you're it's correct. Yeah, everything's collapsing right now.
Well, fuck. I might just die in this rocky tomb. Okay.
I will give you make a perception check. I'll give you a perception check here.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
Okay, good.
That is quite good. The cave-in seems much more disastrous farther up than it is farther down.
And I'm currently going up right now.
Upstairs. You're currently going upstairs, yes.
And these stairs here are going up as well?
They are as well, yes.
So basically I'm stuck here.
Unless you could try to make an escape still, but that is the information you have now.
Okay.
The cave-in is... You have seen multiple times in these lower chambers, there, like even in that room you just left, there are pillars, and it does seem to be supporting it much better than some of the other pieces, which are closer, just seem to be tunneled out.
Okay. This room up here, is that upstairs, or is that like basically on level where I am?
You're currently on the staircase going up there, so it's not too much higher than you are currently, but yeah.
Okay. And this area, I could probably guess, is roughly parallel with this room over here, because those doors are...
You had to move, more or less, you would guess, yes. You saw the other side of that door, so you would guess it's the same door.
Okay. And we tried this door up here, and it was locked.
No, it wasn't locked. It was the same as the other double doors.
Okay, which is immovable. We haven't tried this door, so I guess, hey... If life is gonna just run, I'm gonna try to run to that door and open it and keep going.
Okay. The door does open, and it reveals a fairly small space.
With no other doors in it?
It does not have any other doors in it.
The fuck? Okay.
You could explore the room, but that might not seem like the most pertinent time to do that.
No, doesn't feel like it. And all right, and so if I keep going this way, do I feel like I'm getting closer to the cave-in, or am I roughly the same kind of danger?
Mostly roughly the same kind of danger. It is a high level of danger, but
Shit. Okay. Yeah, I'll just dash into those rooms.
yeah, you have another 35 feet or whatever your movement is.
All right, that's it for me.
All right, make a deck save.
Okay. Pretty good.
Yeah, it's good enough for now. Yeah, you do. Parts of the ceiling are collapsing as you're running through this space. You do dodge out of the way of all of them for now.
But parts of the ceiling weren't collapsing back here, or back where I came from?
They were, but it is less violent. Like I said, it's pretty. With the perception roll, it is much more dangerous the higher you go, and much less dangerous the lower you are.
All right. All right, that's me.
I'll say you are unconscious, but not dying.
Excellent.
Dalen, make a death save. Okay, that's one failure. They will do theirs. Technically, we're basically out of combat order at this point. More or less, we'll keep it at least for one more round. They'll do their thing, they'll do your thing. Kean, you're up.
Oh, good. Oh, fuck. So a badger could probably survive down here, right? Because he could just, like, tunnel.
It's not the worst gambit.
I mean, I feel like I don't have many options left at this point.
If you feel that way, it's because it's true.
There has got to be a small insect-like creature that has a good burrow speed.
Well, the smaller it is, the worse its burrowing speed, probably. But yeah.
Yeah, but the harder it'll be to find, I would imagine, right?
Like worms.
Yeah, like an earthworm.
Yeah.
Probably like in the burrowing speed is probably in millimeters, but you know, you'll get out in like 6 months.
Well, I've only got an hour of polymorph.
Yeah, badger might be your best bet.
Yeah, I guess that is my best bet. I will spend one of my last spell slots.
When has a badger let you down yet?
Yeah, right, exactly. I'll polymorph myself into a badger and then just start burrowing down at first, and then as soon as I can, I'm going to start burrowing upwards.
Okay, so you're going to burrow down and then back up?
Yeah, I want to essentially try and loop around.
Okay.
But I'm going to go through the wall. Or at least that's the direction I'd like to go so they can't follow me.
Okay. I would say with your action and your like full turn, you could probably burrow 10 feet per round.
Okay.
It's just solid stone. Like, it's going to be difficult, but at least
I'll resign to that much.
All right, so you burrow about 10 feet.
I'm going to walk. Before I do that, I'm going to use my movement to get even deeper into the part that's actually caving in, the really dangerous area, and then polymorph and then dig, so that to get to where I'm digging, the cultists have to go into the caving in part.
Okay, you will need another dex save then.
Good enough?
It is.
Alright.
Then
I become a badger and just start digging out.
Okay. So you would have been able to get to somewhere. Like somewhere down, somewhere around, like here-ish is where you're trying to go.
Yeah, that would be good.
And then burrow in to the left or right, and then start going up.
Yeah.
Something. Okay. Then for now, we will say we are out of combat. It is a little bit dangerous, obviously, but you will mostly be safe from the cave-in at this point. And Dalen, you have been stabilized at this point. Both of you could make D4 rolls. There's probably not a lot of plans to heal you, so. Okay, so you will be awake in 2 hours, Hase, and 4 Dalen. Okay, we will cut back to the party now. The other half of the party. August, since you are not dragging a body along, be able to catch up to Devona after about 5-ish minutes or so.
All right. Let's keep going to the cathedral.
Yeah, and August does rejoin you about 5 minutes, but Oof does not. Devona.
Where's Oof?
He must have ate something bad. He's been stuck there for a while.
Do you believe me to be that stupid?
No.
It seems like you do.
I mean, let's be honest. I was being pretty obvious when I said we multiple times.
So what's going on?
I'd rather not let you in yet. The less you know, the better.
I don't agree with that.
Well, if you knew more, you would.
I don't think you know me well enough to say that.
Fair enough. Just drag the body for now.
Alright.
All right.
After about 10 more minutes of walking, you hear another 2 explosions go off in the city. Again, they are very loud. None of them seem that close to you. The nearest one would probably be a little bit off to in the direction you came, but a little bit more southeastern or so. And like it's given the distance you are, it would have had again be a pretty massive explosion.
Hey, Devona, wouldn't you want to see if there were any wounded in that explosion, in the explosions? We didn't really check last time.
Well, I'm sure the Orthan guards can take care of that.
If you say so, I figure you'd be better at tending to the wounded than average Joe guard.
At this point, you do see probably there are guards like running off in that direction down the street. At this point, you've seen probably a few dozen guards.
I won't be able to help that many people anyway.
If you say so.
I mean, while I do have some healing abilities, it's not really my thing, per se.
I just think if I was, well, a magic user, which I am not, I would do my best to help people who just got injured in an explosion that they had no way of doing anything against.
Like I said, I'm sure Orthan has enough people that can do that.
I mean, they seem pretty anti-magic.
They do employ magic users though.
Have we seen any? I'm pretty sure we're like we haven't seen any, right?
You
Well,
have not. I mean, you haven't seen any. Yeah. Sorry. Galen would know that the city does employ some magic users, but it is very strict and generally not a thing that is known widely. So,
So we wouldn't actually know that then.
not necessarily. I mean, you probably have your suspicions at this point, but
yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of assumed because, they do employ us. And we do have magic users and whatnot, so
Yeah, but
seems,
still probably not that many.
yeah, probably not that many.
yeah, I mean, you can either basically continue heading off to the Grand with this unconscious religious member, or try to go towards one of the explosions or something else, but obviously.
No, Devon was pretty set on delivering this unconscious cultist.
Yeah, sticking with it then.
Okay, so heading pretty much straight as possible to the Grand Cathedral.
Yeah.
Okay. Oof, then, around this time, if you pretty much headed through talking with August, you would arrive in the area where you think the inn is.
Okay. Are they labeled? Like, do they have signs?
Yeah, there's a couple of different taverns and shops on down the road. Just quickly walking down, you could spot a sign of the inn you're looking for.
Okay.
With an inn.
I'm gonna do a 360 around the building or complex that it's attached to, to see if there are any back doors to it as well, and what windows are available.
Okay. It is a standalone building. The buildings are next to each other, but there is alleys on both sides of this tavern. There are several windows on the front, a couple on the sides, but both on the second story of the building. There's a back door. No windows on the back side, though.
Okay. And what sort of establishments are around it?
A couple, the ones right next to it, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. One seems to be some kind of housing. The other one seems to be some kind of store. Can't exactly make out, maybe some kind of leatherworking or something, but it is obviously closed at this hour.
Okay. Does the ground look heaved anywhere around?
Look what? Sorry.
Heaved? Like, are there any obvious tunnels that have been built under the walking area that would stand out?
None that would stand out visibly, but you could do a investigation or perception check.
Investigation. Maybe.
Okay. It really is hardly visible to the eye, but you do notice there's clearly some kind of disturbance in that vein along the back of the tavern down that alley.
Okay.
So you would guess that there might be some kind of underground something to it. It could be a cellar, but at this point you probably don't necessarily think it's just a cellar.
Okay. And if I followed it the opposite direction, would it lead to any other buildings?
It does seem to go a ways. It does not connect to any buildings nearby. You could follow it if you'd like farther.
Sure,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, how far are you willing to go down this?
What time is it?
At this point, it's verging on 11:30-ish.
I'll follow it for 15 minutes worth of distance.
While you are following it, you do hear similarly 2 explosions just go off in the city.
I'll shake my head.
After about 10 minutes following it, it does branch off about 10 minutes in walking. One continuing north and one going west.
And just glancing in those directions, what do I see?
One seems to head pretty much back directly into the lower district, and one seems to head off in a direction in the city you have not been in yet, but it is vaguely in the direction. If it went all the way, it would head to the Elven district.
Okay. I will follow back towards the tavern or inn or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose I can go in the front door. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, it's open.
Okay. And what do I see when I go inside?
There's a bartender, middle-aged man, bearded, human. You see several patrons in the bar. Although it is pretty empty at this point, the people in there are all drinking, and everyone does look a little shaken right now, considering 4 explosions have gone off in the city in the past half hour.
Okay. I guess I'll ask the bartender for a drink and say, hey, what's going on?
That looks you over. Aren't you a little young to be drinking?
No, not really.
It's been a hard day. What would you want?
Oh, I don't know. What do you got?
Mostly ale.
Well, I guess I'll have to have some of that then.
He fills up a tankard and slides it towards you.
All right. So why do you say it's been a long day?
Sorry, what? I couldn't hear you.
Why do you say it's been a long day?
All these explosions, in the past hour or so. I mean, shaking people. We don't know what's going on.
No one's come in and said anything?
No. I mean, who's going to come in here and tell some place like this what's going on?
Well, figured maybe the guards of the wonderful Orthan Republic would have come in and given you a heads up.
They don't tell us shit until after the fact when they give us an official statement. I'll probably come in tomorrow.
Official statements. You say that almost sarcastically.
It's the same old, same old. It'll just be some official explanation that doesn't really tell us anything, but it is what it is. I should probably... It's fine. I'm just a little upset right now.
About the explosions or something else?
The explosions, mostly.
All right. Well, I'm gonna look around and ask him if I can take a table.
Go right ahead.
All right, and I will go towards the cornermost table with the best view of the room.
Yeah. Like I said, there are 3 other patrons in there with you, but yeah.
Can I overhear anything they're saying?
They're all by themselves.
Okay.
None of them are paired off or anything.
Well, can you describe them?
Yeah. One seems to be a pretty old, 70s year old man or so. He just seems to be off in the corner drinking to himself. The two other figures seem to have positioned themselves similarly to you, where they can see most of the other room. They're both elves.
Okay. And they're not together, though?
They're not together.
Well, what
At
are
least
they
they're
wearing?
not sitting together.
How would you describe their clothing?
Seems mostly kind of commoner clothing. It is darker though. Darkish greens, some blacks. Clearly, I mean, if you're looking, it seems like it's supposed to be something that could, kind of stay out of sight if need be.
Describe their shoes.
Their shoes.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they both are just more or less kind of like loafers, I suppose. Dark colors, similarly.
But not boots.
Neither of them are wearing boots, no.
Okay. And the other man?
He
Does-
just seems to be dressed a little bit more poorly than the other two figures.
Mhm.
Very drunk.
Okay. And the two
Seems
elves
like a drunkard.
are watching for what's going on, does it look like?
They seem to be just surveying the room. Both of them have already looked you over when you had entered and ordered a drink.
And have they
Yes.
looked at each other?
Once, when you had entered, they both seemed to look over at each other.
Okay. I guess I will just wait here with my tankard of ale and see what transpires.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so the next thing, we'll skip back to August and Devona. You would reach the Grand Cathedral at this point.
I guess we would go in.
Mhm.
And
As you do approach, the guards stop you. Say your business.
I'll pull out the identification and
And this, they kind of just point at me. The wrapped in bed sheets, human-shaped object.
yeah, part of our mission.
Fair enough. Don't leave the Grand Cathedral unless given explicit permission by Imperial Knight Hammett. Is that understood?
okay.
And they both kind of move out of the way. You do notice there are significantly less guards here than there have been every other time. It seems to have thinned out a little bit. You have a suspicion. You probably know where they're at, but You do enter the Grand Cathedral. There's a lot of activity, a lot of people moving around down the hallways. You get a couple of glances, but everyone seems to be pretty occupied currently. Where would you like to go?
Drop the cultist off at Hammett's office.
Yeah.
Okay. You do, so you are heading over. The door is closed when you get there. You do hear talking coming from inside, though.
We could probably wait then. Hammett's a busy guy.
Devona will knock on the door.
Don't want to drop a body on his conversation.
A few seconds pass after you knock on the door, Bona. And it does open. And you do see Imperial Knight Hammett sitting behind his desk, and the figure opening the door is Imperial Executor Jakar.
Ooh.
Imperial Knight Hammett just kind of looks around him. You return then.
It's us.
We have one prisoner
Yeah.
to deliver.
And you kind of see the car just shift over back to Hammett and just say one. Hammett then turns back to you, explain yourselves, and quickly.
We intend to go back out and get more, but we want to confirm this one
We
just in case
managed
things
to
went
get
bad.
more of them, but they managed to escape in the explosions. It took us quite by surprise.
What do you know of the explosions?
Not
The-
much, honestly.
Yeah.
Is it linked to this raid?
It may be.
The car just kind of turns back towards, well, he's still facing Hammond, I suppose. Like, we'll finish this later. Send the prisoner to me. And he just leaves, walking down past you down the hallway. You can kind of see Hammond just slump back in his chair a little bit. He seems a little bit exhausted. This is very bad timing. I'm sure you could realize that.
Yep.
Currently, while I'm not exactly agreeing with his Imperial Executor Jakar, all of you will be placed under more or less house arrest and will be interrogated tomorrow. There's suspicions that somehow this operation was leaked, given the timing of the bombings with this raid. I do apologize, but that is the situation we are in. You may...
Well, unfortunately, we kind of. Well, I'm unsure at what happens to the other, well, members of our party.
Are you telling me that you're the only two that are here right now?
Yes.
And you know the location of your peers?
No.
Well, this got a whole lot fucking worse. Hammond just kind of slides out from the desk, stands up, and walks out towards you. Calls over a couple of guards passing the hallway. Deliver this to his Imperial Executor Jakar. They both nod and head off with the prisoner. Well, if you have no idea where they are, there's a lot of explaining to do here. You could step inside, kind of motions to his office.
I step inside.
Yep.
Okay. At which point, he'll close the door behind you, sit back down at the desk. Give me a full explanation now and quickly of exactly what happened.
We found the building that obviously housed the cult. There was a body there and an altar. We managed to destroy it, but we decided, I guess, to wait there and ambush the cult members. Everything was going very well at first. We managed to get most of them knocked unconscious and detained. But then things kind of deteriorated from that point, I suppose.
I'm quite interested in that deteriorate.
Well, at some point, they managed to get to some more cultists managed to get to the unconscious bodies, and we split the party, and some tried to follow after them. We don't know what happened to the others. There was a lot of explosions going around and shakings and whatnot. And it was a bit confusing.
So then half of the party, where exactly they get split?
I'm sorry, what? You were cutting off.
When the party split, you said, where did the other half go?
I don't know, honestly. Like I said, it was very confusing. I hope they come back and can give a better explanation. I'm kind of worried about them.
And who exactly ran off?
Well, Dalen, and I'll say Kian and Oof.
And you said you had captured multiple members of this cult, yet we only have one.
That's the only one we managed to retain with us, I suppose you could say.
Were the others dead, alive, escaped?
One was dead when the explosion went off. I'm not sure there's much remaining of him. And the others, like I said, were rescued by other cult members.
How many did you see in total during this raid?
I would say around 10-ish.
You have anything to add to this, August? It's most.
Could you repeat that last bit? You cut out.
Sorry about that. My headset's been a little fucky. Would you agree with this report as accurate?
It's accurate.
Well, then you can both understand this is a very bad situation.
Yes.
Ideally, the interrogation with the prisoner will go smoothly, but I do fear that, given the circumstances and timing, you and the rest of your party will be held in suspicion until it can be confirmed otherwise.
By the way, and Devona reaches into her pack, and she takes out the 2 books and the notebook that she got and pass them over to him and tell him, we found these. Unfortunately, we weren't able to read it since it's in a language that we're unfamiliar with.
Hammett kind of skims over them. Fair enough. With any other relics, artifacts, possessions that you found to turn in? That was a yes or no question.
Yeah. No, I'm good.
Were there other possessions that your party members have?
Think so. I'm pretty sure at least one of them picked up another journal.
Fair enough. I suppose we'll find out. Well, I will be escorting you to your rooms then, if you would. And he gets out of the chair and kind of opens the door, kind of motions his hand for you to go first.
Devona will look at him and be like, I could provide some help with the relief efforts if you want.
Even if I had the authority to allow that, it would be looked upon very poorly for a paladin of another religion to show up and start healing. I'm sure you can understand that.
Yes, it may show people that other gods exist, I suppose. Shouldn't do well for Orthan, I guess.
Something like that. Now, if you would, and again, kind of motions to his hand for you to go.
We go.
Okay. He will lead you back both to your quarters. As he does, he will go into both as he is putting you there. Walk over to the windows. He seems to do something, and with them and bars do appear over the windows. I'll be also locking your rooms. Try again, but it is the way it is. Is there anything else you'll need from me?
No, I suppose not. Maybe just please, if the others come back, would you send us word that they're okay?
If I'm able, I can't promise anything. I may be out.
That's
There's
understandable.
A lot happening. Well, hopefully this will be cleared up by the morning. He kind of nods, shuts the door, and locks it to both of your rooms. And now you are currently both under quasi-house arrest.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, next up, Kian, you there?
Mhm.
At this point, are you just tunneling for the entire time, more or less?
Yep. I've got one more spell slot left in me too, so I can
In case
go
you
for
don't
2
need it.
hours.
Well, considering how far you are on the ground, the speed at which you're going, after about 45 minutes pass, you do get to the surface.
Oh my gosh.
And now you are a badger in the city streets.
Oh, I immediately stop concentrating on the spell as soon as I can see daylight.
Fair enough. And you are not a badger on the city street.
Okay, I'm tired and weak, and my friends are gone. I'm just gonna find like an alley somewhere for me to just take a rest in, just a short rest.
Okay. The nearest alley would just be off the side of the street. There doesn't seem to be anyone else down it, so you're just gonna meditate or sit down for like half of an hour to an hour, just short rest it up.
Just short rest it up.
Okay. So you short rest. At this point, it's probably getting well past midnight,
Oh wow, shit. Okay.
but you do finish your short rest.
And we established that like today is the same day as when we went to find that Elf Tavern?
That was the night before, but yes.
Okay.
So technically, basically, a full day has passed since then, since that was in the middle of the night as well, but yes.
Yeah, I don't think I have my Arcane Recovery back.
You would need to finish your long rest, yeah.
Yeah, I would. It's okay, I can't cast the spell I want. I have a very good way. No, but I do have one. I do have one spell slot left. I will cast Divination. And I am going to ask if I will see Alice again in the next 7 days.
That is a cruel question, but okay. Because the answer will be, I mean, Alice could do something really dumb. I don't know, but the answer will be yes, though. But we might have to retcon that. We'll see what happens. But the answer will
You
be
might see my body.
I mean, it's a cryptic answer, right? It doesn't have to be yes or no. The answer could be something like the forces that hold him will not harm him, or something like that, or has provided his own.
But it does have to
harm him.
provide at least a hint of an answer.
Yeah.
Either way.
If Alice was to try something, it'd probably be a spell, and like divination doesn't account for that, so
yeah,
it could still be a yes and be true. But
What if you just say no and make sure I don't see him in 7 days? Sure.
The answer
exactly
will be,
8 days away.
If everything goes as foretold, then yes.
Okay.
There's your answer.
All right, that makes me feel more comfortable with leaving her and Dalen behind. I will turn into an owl and fly towards the cathedral.
Okay. You will make it there in about, from where you are, flying speed's obviously a little faster, 20, 25 minutes.
Okay. Do they close my window during the day? Because otherwise I just leave it open just in case I need to, like, do
the
this.
The window is closed as you're
dear.
swooping by.
Are any of the lights on? Not the lights on. Are there any lights in the windows of my other compatriots? Like,
so it seems, but both windows are curtained.
Okay. Well, if it seems like there might be someone inside, I'm just going to start pecking at the window.
Okay, roll a D2. Just unless you're choosing one of the rooms specifically.
No, I'm just randomly.
Alright, you're pecking on Devona's window then. Devona, about 15, 20 minutes after Hamlet leaves, you hear pecking at your window.
I'll go to the window and open the curtains.
You see a small owl on the other side, pecking at your window.
I'll open the window if I can.
You cannot actually open the window.
Wait.
As you're looking through the window, once the curtains get moved out of the way and the light shining straight through it, I mean, you could kind of see it anyways, probably without that. There are bars on the inner side of the window now.
Oh, so it's in the inside.
It is on the inside, yes.
So could she actually open the window with the bars still on the window?
No. It would not be able to be opened from the inside.
Can I try and open the window from the outside?
You could, and Al would have difficulty, though.
Hey, what do I got to lose?
How would you try to open the window as an owl?
I have no clue. Is there anything for me that I could grab on the exterior window, like with my talons?
Not really. The device to open it would be on the inside, but if it was unlocked, you would have a chance still.
Damn it. Is it like a rooftop garden or something somewhere around the cathedral?
There are several, but it is thinned out significantly. You probably noticed that flying in. It's probably less than half of the usual guard you've seen, like, patrolling and around the cathedral. Again, you might not actually have an exact reason for why that is, but you maybe have suspicions.
Oh, no, not guards. gardens. I was wondering if there were like rooftop gardens or like
Oh, my bad.
balconies or anything I could use to fly into.
There are balconies, not necessarily super close by to this, and there are no rooftop gardens. That is not really the Orthan's aesthetic.
You have a feeling that the balconies might belong to the rooms of like very important people.
It wouldn't be a bad guess.
Okay. The owl is gonna like mimic Devona, like to Devona, like punching at the window.
Kian?
Whew. If it wasn't clear, the struggle that I'm having right now is that I don't have any papers. I can't actually get into the cathedral.
You never got papers?
I got papers. They were then promptly destroyed by Yartel. The new papers aren't done yet. I am waiting for them. The Imperial Knight Hammett told me I had to be accompanied by people wherever I went.
That is true.
We might just have to sleep at the owl tonight.
That's not really bad for him at this point.
Yeah, if they don't know who you are, don't worry about it.
I mean, they might assume he's a terrorist.
Is there like a hole big enough in the window, like a crack large enough for like a small insect to crawl through, maybe?
Not really. These are pretty tightly sealed.
Alright, cool. Guess I'm staying in the city tonight.
I mean, you could try to sneak. I mean, if that was your plan, it'd probably sneak into the cathedral. But
no, I guess I'll just kind of float here and just try and communicate to Devona that I am Kian.
You can guess that pretty quickly with an owl doing weird human things.
I'll fly away for a little bit, find somewhere on the ground to turn back into my personal form, and then I am going to take out a piece of parchment and write a quick message out on it.
okay, what would you like that to say?
It's just going to say, escaped the cultists' underground lair, cave-in, Dalen and Alice captured or dead. And then I will turn back into an owl, take the message in my talons, and fly back up to the voter's window.
Okay, so the owl disappears for like a couple minutes and then comes back with a message.
Well, Oof is should be at the Tathan Inn at 1 a.m. You could probably find him there.
I'll just, whoo, and then fly away and try and find the teeth in him.
You have no idea where that is.
Yep. What else do I have to do tonight besides fly around in owl form and try and find a certain inn?
And you don't know the exact time at this point, but it is rapidly closing on 1 a.m.
I probably won't be able to find it in time. Alright, I guess I'll just have to find a regular inn and pay for a room for the evening.
You could try finding the Tathan Inn. You would guess it'd probably be hard to get someone to tell you where it is at this time, but you could try.
No, I don't want to test my life. The owner knows that I'm alive and that Alice and Dalen are of questionable existence, so I will just find an inn, pay for a room, and trance for 4 hours so I can get my strength back.
Okay. Are you just going to try to find the nearest inn? Or...
No, I'm going to try and find an inn like a reasonable amount away from the city. Not the city, but what's it called? Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to fly back to the forest where where your hotel captured me. I'm gonna stay there tonight.
Okay, that will take you a good time to get there, but if you like, you could.
I'm gonna feel much more comfortable there than anywhere else. So yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. Then, oof.
Mm-hmm.
It is rapidly approaching. At this point, it's about 12:30, 12:45. You probably don't know the exact time, but it's around there. At which point, one of the two elves in the room, several other patrons have entered at this point. None have exactly caught your eye. It just seems like late night drunkards coming back into their rooms. Like no one stayed in this lobby, like bar area. Everyone went straight upstairs. But one of the elves does approach your table, and kind of looks you over.
I'll look him over back.
Kind of pauses for a second. So what are you doing here?
Having a drink. What are you doing here?
Waiting.
Yeah, what you waiting for?
I'm thinking you.
Yeah, why is that?
It's the Tia here.
He sees you.
Kind of looks over his shoulder and motions to the other elf. And they both, the other one comes over and they both take a seat at your table. There's been complications.
What sort of complications?
Well, one of your party members seems to have come into possession of several dangerous devices and set off several explosions tonight. I'm sure you've heard.
Yep.
They also actively resisted.
They should have surrendered.
Two are safe in the custody of our people. The other one is unaccounted for. The male elf.
Okay. Knowing him, he's probably okay, but okay. And
Are you alone?
am I alone? Do you see anyone else?
No, but we've been warned that several of your party members have powerful magic.
Not with me tonight.
Good. I think it's for the best, given the circumstances. Let's to explain. If you could come with us then. And they both get up from their seats and start walking past the bar to the back room, where the bartender just seems to be turned away cleaning some glasses.
I will cautiously follow.
In the back room, there's supplies and the like. There's a hatch, seemingly to like a basement or something. One of them pulls out a key, unlocks it, opens it, and it does seem to go downwards. And they both kind of head down, expecting you to follow.
And as I go down, I will ask if we are headed towards the elfin part of town or if we are going back to the lower district.
Neither, for now.
Hmm.
As you do head down, it is not a basement. You have entered some kind of tunnel.
Never would have guessed. So, tell me, guys, what's your role in all this?
Just messengers, making sure the right information gets to the right people.
Okay. Who are we going to go
Our
see?
leader is very interested in speaking with you and Tathir.
Okay. What are
We'll
your
be taking
leaders?
him to.
What are your leaders?
Sorry,
what are your leaders' views on Orthan?
Given the nature of our organization, I bet you could take a stab at that.
Do you prefer dragons or eagles?
One kind of smirks. Most outsiders don't know anything about any of that. And they kind of both lift up their cloaks, and there's a kind of this embroidery on under the. They're both wearing armor as they lift up their cloaks, and reveal that. And there's this kind of large dragon symbol on both of their chest piece.
They will see Oof smile quite happily. Okay.
Right this way, then. Unless you have any other concerns before we continue.
I don't think so.
Good. And they both head off down the tunnel.
And Oof follows.
Fair enough. And at this point, Alice, you will be waking up.
Okay. I gotta leave him.
Yep. We will be calling it pretty much right after this. You wake up in a small room. You are laying on a bed. There's really not much else in the room. There's a small bucket in the corner, a small table with a book on it, and that's about it.
Okay. I don't suppose that book is my spell book?
It's not your spell book.
Do I know where that is?
You have no possessions on you besides the clothes on your back.
Same clothes?
Same clothes.
Drained in any way?
No,
How comfy is this?
not very. Servable, but it's not exactly like high quality.
Roll over, stretch my back, and I will go back to sleep.
Fair enough. Not quite sleep, but trance.
I'm gonna take a very long rest, like pretend to be unconscious still.
Fair enough. Pretty much, we'll just wrap up the last couple things. And Kian, you did reach the forest. Are you just resting there as well?
Yep.
Okay. Then I think we can call it a session there.
Good game, guys. Good game.
Mm-hmm.
Surely didn't go like I thought it would.
No,
In some ways, it was worse than I thought, but it was better in some ways too.
I disagree. I don't think that could have gone anywhere.
I don't think any of us are actually dead. So,
In short term, sure, we survived, but like long term, I think we're completely fucked.
yeah.
Guess that's where your loyalties lie.
I mean, we're gonna think. The thing that worries me is I think our loyalties are all in.
And sided with Tathir,
You,
who is the
Alec.
demon that tried to murder us.
I can't believe you guys gave back those cultists you kept.
The
No.
thing I thought was funny is like, he didn't just try to kill Salo, he tried to kill all of you by collapsing in the tunnel.
He was doing a fairly good job too.
Yeah. Like, he tried to murder all of us.
And yet you all survived. Huh.
I will never give him credit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
We
super
worked
surprised
very
you
hard.
gave over those cultists. Like, I thought you could have taken those guys.
I mean, that was like,
In that-
I thought
in that
about
case-
it. I really thought about like disregarding the Oofs and August plan, but then I thought if there's a chance to guarantee like your guys' lives should probably take it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you guys believed him so easily. He
No,
was just
no,
like,
you-
I have it on good authority.
Yeah, no, you just accept that without question. Like, yeah, I mean, it was true, but
It was absolutely true.
I thought you'd be more skeptical. I'd be like, come on.
I mean, I would have been, but then I forgot to insight, so I was like, well, that's all.
Yeah, I think I was away, too far away for most of the talk, so I kind of went with what Oof and August told me.
Like, I usually
Yeah.
forget that insight is a thing, and I'm like, well, I don't like insight anyways. It always breaks the flow. But yeah, so that's just how it happened.
We've also got to have serious conversations with Booth about the distinction between a grenade and a trigger.
I'm just worried we're gonna get to a point where where it's gonna be hard to party together. It seems like all of our alliances are in slightly different places
Yeah.
to some extremes. Like, there's no way Dalen will ever betray Orthan. I probably won't. Oof has. August is on the fence. I don't know where exactly Devona lies, and I'm not sure Keaton cares.
Giovanna
this way-
is like, anything evil she'll gladly destroy, so probably the cult and Orthan.
Just extreme.
Okay, so
But in
so
that
I think
order,
I've
right?
just named like 4 different teams, and there are like 5 of us.
Well, things will unfold, and more information will be found on all sides. So, and Dalen might not have a lot of choice in portraying Orthon, but we'll see what happens.
I gotta go, but this was fun. Talk to you guys again next week.
See ya.
Have a good one.
Yeah?
See you.
I'm gonna head off.
See you,
It was a
Connor.
fun session. See you guys. Bye.
So yeah, I'm gonna go as well.
Later.
Have a good one.
Bye guys.
Yep.
And then we're left with the 2 conspirators.
I didn't expect that to. Yeah, I mean, I did a bit, but I didn't expect it to go that way.
How did you expect it to go? What did you think would
The
happen?
big thing was I didn't expect Devona to start lying out of her teeth to Hammond about all of it.
I know.
Like, I was like,
You
well,
save both of your asses quite a bit.
oh
there.
yeah. I'm like, well, Devona's got to be in now. Like, I'm like, man, yeah, August would want to tell her. Like after that, because like before, like Devona really hadn't like given August anything to trust, really. But that happened. It's like, well, yeah, August like pretty trusting of her now.
It's fair. You don't think you'd probably guess that she's not going to go along with the religious members, though.
I mean, I think that's fair too. I mean, August is 50-50 on both sides.
Yeah, Oof would
You-
say that's also fair. But
Like, both
He's just
sides,
willingly going along with them right now.
lesser of two evils.
I mean, the main thing is we haven't heard like Orthon's side. Like, they were clearly doing a lot of horrible things, but like we haven't actually like heard anything of like how they intend to obtain this crazy power or anything. So we weren't entirely sure, you know.
No, but
That's
Oof
fair.
has seen enough to be convinced, even if he doesn't have the whole story. Because, he is young and naive.
Yeah.
And I mean, you did just hand off a prisoner to Imperial Executor Jakar. I don't know what August would think is going to happen to that man, but
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it's clear that he's probably going to get tortured, but at the same time, I don't know if the cultists also, they might also torture people, you know? But, don't know, because we haven't ran into that situation.
sure enough.
It's a good thing Devona didn't try to intercede and stop or attack the 5 cultists. Because Oof
Yeah.
would have attacked her.
Oh, oh god, what would have stuff? Yeah.
I mean, at that point, Tathir might have intervened a little bit more, obviously.
One would hope.
I feel like if you had done that, yeah, August would have probably been like, hey, let's all stop fighting for like one round, and then yeah, he probably would have ended up attacking Devona if it persisted. Yeah.
I mean, they were being quite reasonable, a man for a man.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really have a good reason to trust them. But that was more me forgetting that insight was a thing, which usually happens for me.
That's fair. If you had insider checked them, by the way, they were telling the truth, obviously, at this point. But although at that point, I guess August wouldn't necessarily have known that Oof was pretty much just actively had to talk to them for a hot minute.
Yeah.
But now there's two of you have spoken with him. One, technically three, but that party member is quite dead.
Quite dead.
Not if Alice A has her way, but otherwise.
Yeah.
I literally thought about spelling out surrender letter by letter on the screen when they were down there.
I mean, I did the 2 instead of the 3 because I was like, well, I'm sure one of them can escape.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
We didn't do XP.
Yeah, I figured that too. Yeah, how much XP do we get, Lucas?
Mom. Let me see. He's working on it. Yeah, but how far off are you guys for the next level?
Well, what is the next level?
1,500.
Cool. We'll just round up then and push you two to the next level then. I think that's fair. We'll go with... I think a lot happened. Not a lot of combat necessarily, but a lot happened.
Yeah, important events happened pretty much.
You get all the XP for everyone that just got killed in the bombings, you know?
It's horrible.
Yeah, it's very dark. The campaign took a turn real quick.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting him to try to detonate all 4. That was quite disastrous.
Oh, what were you expecting?
It would have been much more disastrous if you had stayed there.
Oh, yeah. We would all be dead, all 3 of them. I'm glad we didn't. Also, it's going to be really horrible for Dalen.
Well, he doesn't know yet that he just